Okay, okay. Okay, yes, 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 yes. So he wants to be briefed at his office, does he? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, all right. Yes, okay, okay. Yes, yes,
And
yes,
you can
yes.
hear Anirban speaking and organizing all the latest
All
things with Tarun Sharma, who is about to join this
right.
Pune meetup.
Yes, yeah, behind the scenes secret stuff. Hopefully he's not watching this stream live. Yeah. All right.
Well,
All
it
right.
will be on YouTube, Anirban.
It'll
Everything
be,
you
it'll
say will
be.
be on YouTube.
Yes, yes. Yes, so I'll be back, Matt. Thanks for offering
Okay.
to host this event. Yeah, I have to get the man. Yeah.
So the event is probably going to begin in a couple of minutes. It's supposed to begin in 5 minutes, I believe. And here, I guess you can see both people joining the room and not using the first seats, and also a couple of friends here, all the way to the speakers at the background here. I should have taken my Indian shirt today. I've got a great one, but I did not think about it.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey, hi, Matt. This is Hemant here.
good to hear you.
Yeah, good to hear you too. So, Anirban has asked me to take care of the relay, so I'll be around with you over here.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So, you want me to wear the headphones throughout the program, correct?
Yeah. So the event is going to begin in 5 minutes or so, right?
Okay. Yep.
Excellent. So we need somebody to make sure that people don't stay at the back of the room, but use the first rows too.
Yep. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I guess that Shiv or Aniban is gonna take care of that.
Yep. I think he will. Okay. So, I'll be around. Let me know.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Thanks,
Great
Matt.
to have this event.
Yep. Thank you.
And just so you know, I'm pointing people from all over the world about the great things happening for this event. Here I'm talking with somebody from HDI, who is very big in the US, pointing him to this wonderful event in Pune, India today. So people still shy away from the first seats.
Yeah, I guess. But no, I think the first seat is meant for Tarun and the guys, so they'll sit there. So yeah, the hall is filling up, so it's good.
Actually, we may want to have the first seats used by customers and partners. So who you were thinking about Tarun? So who else is going to join? Yeah, Doug Mueller. So all the speakers is that
Yep.
what?
Yeah, I guess even we'll have
Ah,
some customers and partners.
yeah, because
Yep.
we may not. speakers, there will be only a couple of speakers, so
Mhm.
it may make sense for them to stay around, while we definitely want customers and partners to fill up the room.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people coming from the customer and partner end. So we have folks who are here.
Yeah, so, and by the way, looking at all the people who engaged here, let me see. I saw a great summary. We've got people from Wipro, Column, Tata, Cognizant, etc., etc. It's
Yes.
great to see. Let me find that. And as you can guess, I'm looking directly on BMC committees to find this live. So let me see. Blah 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 blah. That's nuts. So I guess I have this here. Yeah, I'm on it. So yeah, we've got TCS itself. I mean TCS as an entity, Tata, Wipro, Viam Labs, Atos, Column, many customers like
Yep.
yeah, then Fujitsu, Tech Mahindra,
Yeah, I guess that
HCL. Wow.
those are all the companies that we have in Pune for IT, looks like. So everyone is
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So is Pune the biggest place in India for such things to happen, or Bangalore?
So Bangalore was the biggest, but Pune is picking up fast. So we have a lot of customers that travel to Pune. Yeah. So it's Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Pune. So Pune is picking up fast because of the infrastructure and everything. So yeah, Pune is growing now.
Cool. And
Yeah.
for the crowd here, you all can see Anirban joining
Yep.
just in front of the camera with
So
many
Anirban,
others. Yeah?
I'll just call him.
No. Let him work. Let him work.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
orchestrating a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing around 100 users willing to
Yes.
join.
Yep. So I
Wow.
think we have around 75 here, and we'll have a lot of folks from the organization itself because it's a pleasure to listen to Doug Mueller, and no one wants to miss it.
I'm filling up from the front. You want to see Doug Mueller, right? The Archimedes of BMC remedy.
And we can hear Nirban teasing the crowd.
Want to see him live, so why not, friends, come towards the front. It's like, it's like you have bought a movie ticket and you can have the best seat.
And he's good at analogies, right?
Oh yeah, he is.
I can hear him. He's a showman.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the social guy.
Yeah, I'll try not to look at somebody particular. Just
So, Heman, can you share, yeah, two cool stuff that happened for you, uh, with our ecosystem recently, on BMC communities or something?
Yep. So we have Anirban, and he'll say hi first.
check the microphone. Can you hear me on the microphone?
Uh,
Is the microphone
so Anirban is asking, were you able to hear him on the microphone?
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah. I guess I could hear you through the big speakers.
Okay, so the big
Yeah,
speakers
the big
helped you.
speakers then are picked by the microphone that Heman has.
Okay, so this is going to be the receiving, right? The microphone that I am using.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you're not around, you can displace it.
I think it's good.
Okay. Okay. So I think so, Matt. Once we start, I'll remove this microphone so that there is no disturbance from my end.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So when the speakers start, I'll remove the microphone so that there is no disturbance from my end in the
Oh, okay,
speaker.
yeah, you'll put the headset
Yep.
down.
Yep. So if you need anything, you can just point me on the screen or something, and I'll be here.
I will, hey ho, hey ho.
Yeah, that's a good
You
one.
can do that, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, do you have one like that?
I have it. It's on my desk, but
So, do you have the orange shirt or the white shirt?
I have the orange shirt. I have exactly what you have.
Aha, this
Yeah.
is a collector.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. So you mentioned about
So yeah,
two. Yeah,
you,
you mentioned
actually you were about to share two cool things that happened for you
on the communities,
on
right?
BMC communities. Yeah, on BMC communities or with our ecosystem at least
Yeah, on the
recently.
communities, I mean, two great things happen is like one was a conversation which we had with a lot of customers. So I'm from the documentation team. So we
Yeah.
had this wonderful conversation around can we use comic strips and make our documentation cooler? And
Oh
that
yeah.
conversation was, yeah, that was a good conversation. So we are working towards that. So we got to see that excitement, which was extremely encouraging. And second is you must be aware of the upgrade tool that we've just announced. So the response that we have been getting on that, it's really good that we are able to reach out to customers through communities. So with communities, I think the reach has really gone. It's nice to reach out. It's more easier to reach out. So announce today and tomorrow everyone knows. So it is really awesome.
Excellent, excellent. And I've been looking at some things this morning. I was talking with Peter Rain. Are you familiar with Peter?
Yeah, I've heard his name.
Yeah, so Peter was saying that you guys have made changes on docs.bmc.com so that session timeout is far bigger and
Yeah,
with a remember me checkbox.
yep.
So that is cool because I was speaking with many friends. I guess it was mostly for me in EMEA and APAC here.
Hmm.
Aniban, yeah, is the one interacting. Sorry, EMEA and Americas. Aniban does many of the APAC things, and they were saying that yeah, the timeout was far too slow. That was far too small. So yeah, if you guys make it even easier to enjoy resources on docs.bmc.com and also on support, by the way, also on support, that's a win for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, with the new upgrade, the new version of Confluence, it's going to get more cooler. So we have more rich media support. So we can do a lot of other things. HTML5, interactive graphics, videos. It's going to be more cooler actually. It's going to be more interesting.
Excellent. And I'd like to hear from you and others in your team, yeah, the way you want to leverage engagement within BMC communities.
Yep. Sure. So probably we can touch base. I know Matt, I'll touch base with you around the upgrade program. So something that we know we can club with Amigos. I'm in touch with the Amigo guys, Greg and
Yeah,
Doug Reef. So that's something we can pick that up from there. That's a good starting point
sure.
because it's the biggest problem upgrade, and we have done a lot of fundamental changes there. So we can go
And
ahead from that. Yep.
actually, I think that I saw a video from Docs for about CLM, Cloud Lifecycle Management. I've seen a video recently, hosted on docs.bmc.com, but uh, uh, showcased in the product documentation community.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it for Remedy Force? Probably for Remedy Force.
Was
So
it yesterday?
that's I guess.
Yeah. So that was
There are
that
so
was Remedy
many
Force.
things. Yeah, there are so many things happening.
Yeah. So if it was yesterday, it was Remedy Force for sure.
Yeah, let me check it out. Remedy Force is one click away here, and we see what's new in Remedy Force, and I believe that's a big video from Dival Faldu.
Yeah,
You
they will
familiar with
Faldo.
her?
Yeah. She's a friend of mine. Yeah, they will Faldo.
Excellent. She did a great job.
Oh yeah, she does.
Blah blah blah. Ta-da. Cool.
So Matt, I guess the countdown has begun and we should start in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Someone had a question, I guess.
Oh, Sound was on my side. I launched the video from Devel.
No.
So tell me, introduce us. Who can we see on the stage here?
As of now, no one. So as people come, I'll introduce you to them. So hopefully I would know all the names.
Currently behind the big black desk.
Those are
Who's
yeah, those are the IT guys. They are helping us with the entire system setup and all the stuff.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Is IT managing here? What is that? Network stuff? Is that I don't know, microphone?
Yeah, microphone, projection, and all that stuff.
Oh,
So
all
I
these
guess
things are managed by IT within BMC?
yeah.
I
So
didn't know that.
actually facilities actually, not IT, facilities.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, facilities.
Okay, so here comes the question. Does IT becomes like facilities, like something we all rely on and we expect it to work?
Yeah. So probably, this is a good question to ask to Doug because yesterday we had a conversation on similar lines where he was saying, how IT is not IT, but the business that you're doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, a good question.
And by the way, obviously, this video right now is just to make sure we serve all the audience who could not make it for this meetup today. So my point is not to interact with the speakers or nothing. I'm just here to make sure that we have this public streaming going on.
Okay, nice.
And
That's nice.
everybody can enjoy. By the way, I will post that on Twitter. Give me a second.
Yep.
So Hemant, do you expect the event to indeed start in the next 5 minutes?
Yes, so Doug Mueller has arrived, so we should be starting in 5 minutes now.
Excellent.
So we're waiting for Tarun to come because he's going to do the keynote, right? So we'll wait for Tarun and Girish to start. So do you have any number how many people have joined us on the live streaming?
Let me see if I can get that. Let me see.
Yep.
That's a good question.
That would be, yeah, you could tweet it. Probably it's a good topic.
You know what? I'm not sure I can get that because Anirban was the one setting up the Hangout on air and the event here. So I'm not sure I can get that. But I'll sure tweet the streaming videos so that people can join. BMC user group.
Yeah. So I guess we also identified certain Twitter champions for this event, just to keep on the conversation what's happening on Twitter.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So I guess you also have some Twitter champions for this event. So probably, people.
Yeah, you've got a point. Let's use TweetChat for that. TweetChat is great. TweetChat enables you to monitor anybody using a hashtag. So it's wonderful for that. So let me prepare that with Doug Mueller at Tarun Sharma. So Hemant, what is the estimate right now of the number of people in the room?
Yeah. So if I talk of delegates who have come from different companies, we can say we already have around 60 to 70 people.
Say that again?
So if we say the delegates, the number of people coming from the partner and the customer end, we have around 70 people.
70 people?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and I know it's 4 p.m. A bit more than 4 p.m. your time.
Yes, it's 4 p.m. So now
Yeah.
it's
So
no, now the
yes.
exact time is 4:24.
Okay. And yeah, so some people maybe may join a little bit later. And partners, customers. So let me check out Tweet Chat.
Yeah.
Tweet Chat.
I guess it would be awesome to interview a few of the customers at the end of the event if we could.
So I will not be able to do that live from here, but Aniban
Yep.
has plans to do that. I'm sure
Okay.
that a couple of others, there were others planning to do that. Oop, I've got internet issues on my side.
Oh.
Twitch chat account. Oh, and so I'm using Twitch chat now.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I will share my screen. Let's use the power of Google Hangout here.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
I'm using Twitch chat now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I do see your screen. Oh, I
So
lost it
here,
again.
here we see Shweta interacting, Girish,
Yep.
Anirban, Sundapam. Woohoo! And actually, that's funny. Sundapam talking about the fact that he's not going to be here, but we have the live stream, what you're using right now. So Sundapam is a famous friend in mostly in the Blade Logic world, but he has many other skills.
Mm-hmm.
Then a lot of people I don't even know. Bharat. Are you familiar
Yeah.
with Bharat here?
I don't think he's a BMC employee.
Oh,
I don't see his picture actually.
Shweta, Biome Labs. They are great. They were the one hosting the first user group event.
Yeah. So Shweta is from IDD. She's one
Oh
of my
yeah.
colleagues.
Oh yeah, I know her from for years now.
Yeah.
Paul Avenant. Woohoo! Paul Avenant tweeting about this
Oh
BMC
yeah.
user. And Tarun, obviously. Aniban, Vignac. I don't know Vignac. So one new tweet available. Happy birthday. Ha ha ha. So let me try to retweet that. How does it work? I've got 2 retweets. Hehehe. So Hemant, we can still see somebody from facilities or IT behind
Yep.
the desk.
So we have yet started. So I'll just
Okay.
check. Yep.
No worry.
Yep. So I think we're just waiting for Tarun. He should be in some other meeting. So we'll start. Everyone is
So,
just waiting. Yep.
so I need your help. So Bharat Moge, sorry,
Yeah. Bharat
here
Moghe. Mm-hmm.
he is from BMC.
Oh, he is from BMC.
No,
Okay.
I
So we
don't
have.
know. It's a question.
I don't think so. I haven't seen. I don't know. I haven't seen him in BMC. So I know a lot of people, but I haven't seen Bharat as
Okay,
much.
so I will tag him as ITIL just because he's interested in that.
But I
And I
see
see
BMC.
Girish. Yeah, Girish and BMC follow him. And yeah, he was interested by the event, recent event with Monica, our chief people officer,
Yep.
and Bob Beecham was there, our CEO, and many others.
Yeah. For
So
the.
Bharat, yeah, oh yeah, that was for Hysteria, right?
Yeah, that was Hysteria. Yep. Which happened last week. It was super fun. A lot of fun.
I can guess.
Yeah. It's
So
like a big
let
party.
me, yeah, let me get rid of a couple of stuff here. So Vignac, I don't know who Vignac is.
So yep, Matt. Good. So we should get started now. So Taran is here. So we'll start the event. Yep.
Okay,
Streaming live. No, this is
let
Matt
me.
is doing communities. Yep. So great. So we should be starting very time soon then, Matt.
Excellent. Oh, Hemant,
Yep, sir. Yep.
um, you may want to make sure to click on Aniband. You know, there are two thumbnails on the bottom right, Aniband and my video. Please
So
click on the thumbnail with Aniband because we want the video to always show, the public video to always show your video.
so you're able to see the video now?
Did you click? So you see
Yep.
the two bottom right thumbnails. Did you click to have the focus on Aniband?
I'll just ask anyone to help you. You need some help over here.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
So Aniband, when I speak, I don't want my video to appear public. So
Okay.
please click on your thumbnail, bottom right here, so that you're always the one
Yes.
displayed.
Got it. Yes, this will always be displayed when you click here. Yeah, no, don't have to click on anything else. It's defaults always to the things looking better now. You can see Doug and Tarun and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So let me see. I will move that way. Hey. Excellent.
Yeah.
And Aniband, I will disappear in like 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
So you have a wonderful event.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Yeah. I'll keep the audience posted.
Hello and welcome to the second BMC Software User Group meeting. So how many of you were present for the first BMC Software User Group meeting? Show of hands, please. And when was it? You had a chocolate for that. When was it? The exact date. The location, date. The first BMC Software Pune User Group meeting. That's been memorable. It was on? Okay, you're close. 16 Jan is the answer.
So who is speaking here?
Welcome to the second meeting. We'll be asking this question in the third one also. So remember the date and the location. So before we start the meeting, few ground rules. All the devices which are supposed to make sound are already over here and they're configured and tested. If you are carrying any device which can make sound, please switch it off or put it on silent mode. We'll observe 10 seconds of silence for this. Thank you. The second ground rule is please avoid any movements when the speaker is speaking over the stage because it distracts the speaker. So avoid these movements which we'll be having. We'll be having some uncalled breaks. You can go behind and you can come after the break. But don't move while the speaker is speaking. It will distract the speaker. So that's the second ground rule. And the third ground rule is really simple. When you come out for speaking over here, please shake your hands firmly to the person who will transfer the control to you. The first person that we are going to call out today who will be giving us the welcome note, is the event ambassador for this event. He's been there for all the things, right from the facilities to the end sound preparation. He was involved in everything. So this gentleman, he's been working with BMC software for 13 plus years. He has played a variety of roles. Yeah, round of applause. He has played a variety of roles in R&D, ISNT services, and now OC sales. Currently, he is working as a lead enablement manager, and this includes working with the OC sales team to design and run an enablement program to get the OC partners enabled and certified on BMC solution across pre-sales, architect, consultant, and support roles. Now, this was the introduction he gave me, but let me tell you something about him. We had a global brand in November 2014, which was organized by BMC Software for all its employees. Saturday morning, 7 o'clock, we all decided to run for 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. The host at that time, he called out for people from different departments. He called out R&D, and all people who were in R&D, they said, yay! He said support. Everyone in support said, yay! Sales. There was only one person who screamed yay at the top of his voice. It was this speaker. And his voice, today, when it comes to OC enablement for Pune, BMC software, it has lots of gravity. It brings in all the requirements that are required for enabling our partners. It was a very inspiring thing. I saw him from 30 meters at that time, that only one person, he's representing his entire org at that time. And he decided to run on that particular day. Please help me welcome, round of applause, Girish Gadge.
Wow, look at the crowd. Thank you for coming. Honorable BMC customers, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to welcome you. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Let me begin again. So welcome to BMC. We are hosting this second user group meeting at BMC.
Yeah, how's it audible?
There's been a need for
Excellent.
Excellent. I'm not going to move around much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
experiences, learn from each other. We have heard from you, we have listened to you, and we are organizing this second event. The first one, like Samir gave out the chocolate, was on the 16th of Jan at Globe Labs, and this is the second one that we are doing. We hope to do this quarterly, and we hope that you will gain a lot of experience from here. I'd like to welcome all our delegates from our various customers and partners. I can name a few of them: TCS, Wipro, Vyom, Column IT, Ethos, Fujitsu, and others. I'm sorry if I miss out any names. I'd also like to welcome Tarun and thank him for gracing this occasion, and a special welcome to Doug Mueller. I hope we get to know a lot of information from here and share that across. Thank you for all the work that you have been doing with BMC. We hope you'll continue to do the same and help enrich the community. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Girish. Now, the second speaker coming up is going to speak about the new BMC. He's a very special person. He's an author. He's an entrepreneur. And currently, he's the CEO of BMC Software India. He heads and guides the incubator and is responsible for strengthening BMC's product portfolio and fostering the culture of innovation across the organization. He has been with BMC Software since 2009 and is certified in leading BMC India to its current maturity level. His primary focus has been on making BMC India known for innovation and customer value realization. His leadership was recognized by Zenor when BMC India received the award for Center Transformation in 2014. Round of applause for that. Tarun has also co-authored 2 books. One was on programming web components in 1997, publisher McGraw-Hills,
And second was a bestseller amongst 25 books at that time, Enterprise E-Commerce, published in 1999 by Megan Clifford Press. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you very much. Really nice to see all of you here. I was expecting to see a lot of people, but I didn't expect it to be this many people. So congratulations to the organizers for having pulled this very successful event. And it's not very often that you have somebody of the profile of Doug Mueller here. Doug visits very often to India, but it's really, most of the times that he's here, he's seeing some customers, some partners, but not like this. And specifically when he meets customers, a lot of times he's meeting customer execs, but to actually meet with end users or people who use the product every single day. I think this is one of the first times in India. Doug is a regular at Remedy Usergroup, so he's always a speaker there. But we're starting to do a lot more of those in India. So a big welcome, very warm welcome to you guys. And I hope you like our new facilities. We just moved in here in June. This facility speaks a lot because it's not only built, if you walk around, I don't know how many of you have seen the facility, if you've taken a tour of it, but it feels like a modern day startup. And I think it is very important because what's driving companies like us today is innovation. You know, when everything is up for grabs, you've seen disruption in every industry. The way you book cabs, whether it's Uber or Ola or taxi for sure or whatever that might be, or the way you book hotels with Airbnb, or any of, I could go through many examples of industries that have been disrupted. When you're in a time of disruption like that, the only way a company survives is by innovating, and that culture of innovation is most prominent in startups. And one of the things that we wanted to do when we moved to this was for this place to look and feel like a startup. It starts with facilities, and then it starts with a culture of innovation. For several years now, we've been driving a culture of innovation. We run an incubator from here. In the last 5 years, BMC has launched 4 products to market. At least 3 of those were incubated in some shape or form by the incubator. Today, that insane incubator contributes almost 5% of BMC's revenue. So, we've had tremendous amount of successes from here. And that goes back to making BMC employees believe and feel like they work for an innovative company, making you guys believe and feel that when you have a partner in your space, it is the most innovative that partner that you can get. And it's not innovation that's restricted to our employees. We've been pushing co-innovation a lot, which means teaming up. Since many of you here are services vendors, you have heard from your CEOs that the way to grow the organization is no longer by headcount. Today I think you heard about, what was the stat, about 3 million people in the industry, and you've come up to a sizable revenue. But now for you to get to the same revenue, you will only add, if you double the revenue in the services industry, you will only add 1 million jobs. So to get till here 3 million jobs, same revenue to add again, is going to take you only 1 million people. How? Because you're going to create intellectual property. And you're going to create intellectual property hopefully over platforms like ours. Hopefully you will pick BMC's platforms that are market leading, whether it's Remedy. Remedy's been around for a long time. You know that Remedy, even though Remedy itself has been going through a lot of changes, there's some very exciting stuff that is coming out on the re-platforming front, and the applications look, I don't know how many of you have seen the new versions, but the application looks very sexy, if I may say so. So it's modern, the user interface is very intuitive. When you start to look at the new BMC, you're going to be very excited about what you see. Not only in the current products, which are our market-leading products, but including in new areas. If you take a look at big data, we just announced a product in June of last year called ITDA, IT Data Analytics. It's a big data platform and allows you to run analytics on it. We're very focused on mobile. So if you've seen My IT, our new product on My IT, you'll find that My IT, we were the first ones to talk about consumerization of IT, and then we were the first ones to launch a product that makes IT accessible through mobile devices to the end users. We were the first one to do that. Nobody else has done that. So when you start to look around and see what are the buzzwords of today, you'll find that BMC is actually playing a very important role in all of that. Now I was at NASSCOM yesterday and the day before yesterday, and the only word I heard there, all your big bosses were there. CP Gurnani was there, and a lot of tech members in the room and all. TK Kurian was there. We had all the big guys, and all that they were talking about is digital. For every time somebody used the word digital, I got $1, I would be a very rich man. everything was about digital, and that's what BMC does. So while we started and coined the word business service management, today we think that there's a basic transformation that is happening in the industry, that all those business services that you were used to in brick and mortars are going to become digital. And everything is going to move to the cloud. People want to continue to do SaaS, and they want to play by the drink. So that is fundamentally affecting how we look at a portfolio. And a lot of that innovation is happening across the board, across our product lines, across the portfolio. Now, you guys are in a very, very interesting place because you're in India. And I think a lot of that innovation, India is critical to two things. One, product development. For you, those that don't know, BMC India has about 60% of the worldwide R&D headcount here. And there are certain products like IT data analytics or Remedy Force that are 100% engineered from here, including some older ones like Blade Logic, server automation is 100% engineering is done here. And then there are some like my IT where we do maybe 20-30% of engineering work from here. But across the board, every single product we engineer from here. So we have a big role to play. And by connecting you to us, you're in India, we're in India, we can bypass the whole thing and collaborate better so that your success is successful, your implementation is successful. What we get out of it, what R&D gets out of it is direct access to what the end users need. Because the frustration at the end, if we design it wrong, is yours. If we got it wrong, you're the ones getting frustrated, not the person who made the decision. So it's very important that we are able to engage with you guys and you tell us where our products fall short, where can we innovate better. And when we are coming up with innovation, think of a certain idea that we think might help you. Then it is your job to validate it and tell us, hey, you're thinking about it wrong. Or if you just thought about it this way, you'll have a completely different feature, or you'll design the feature differently. We're looking forward to that interaction. Where you guys are involved, is around adoption and implementation. We are a product company. We can build tools, we can build technologies, we can build products, but unless you take them and implement them and customize them to the requirements of the end user or of the customers, the product's not going to go anywhere. The product's not going to solve a problem by itself. At the end, every single product that you take, you're going to have to deploy it in some infrastructure within an enterprise. And it has to integrate with their own infrastructure, with other applications within an infrastructure to create solutions that the CIO and their end users and their end users care about. So our job is to give you the best product we possibly can build. Your job is to tell us whether we're building the right product that suits you or not, and where are we falling short, and where can we be more innovative, and to take those solutions into the customer sites and deploy them so that they're successful. So I think we live in really, really interesting times, whether it is from the industry perspective, whether it is from BMC's perspective, whether it is from a partner ecosystem perspective, whether it is from the customer's perspective. We built out this facility, but the 10th floor of this building is very special because we've put in a customer experience center there. Bob Beecham, our global CEO, was here last week, and he inaugurated that the center. The customer experience center, you guys, at least the larger services companies have EBCs or briefing centers here in India. But we are one of the first software companies to do it. And do you know why we do it? Because India is in the midst of everything related to IT. Now, there was a very strong statement somebody I heard at NASCOM. Jeffrey Immel said this. He said, today it is very possible that you go to sleep as the CEO of an industrial company, but tomorrow you wake up as the CEO of a software and analytics company. Software eats everything. Every single industry is going to be run by software. Another important stat, no matter what the project is, whether you're building an airport or you're building a port or you're building anything, do you know how much is technology expense in that project? 40%. 40% of the capital expenses is software or technology. It's absolutely brilliant. We're in great times. India is in the midst. We built this customer experience center because almost every large company has a presence in India, either because they have their own captive center or because they have large relationships with you guys. Right? At least Wipro and Infosys are two companies that have announced $1 billion deal in the last 6 to 9 months. Right? You guys are the operators. You're the application development guys. You're everything. You're IT for those companies. When a company outsources to that extent to India, their decision makers, the CIO, their senior vice presidents, their CEOs visit India all the time. Even Michael Dell visits India twice a year. Did you know that? Because India is so strategic. India is so strategic. Even they, almost every single exec that you know of, India is being discussed in boardrooms today. And they come to India. Now, if they come to India and we bring them into our center, we think that we can have a conversation with them like nowhere else in the world, because the people that build the products are here. People that deploy the products, our professional services or partners like you are here. The people that support the product, here. The people that use the product are like customer number zero. Every time we build a new product, IT puts it into production first. They are here. So the kind of conversations can be tactical, strategic, very product architecture related, roadmap related. There is no conversation that a customer wants to have that we cannot have in this facility. This is the power of India. And that's why I'm really excited to see all of you guys here with us, collaborating with us, meeting very influential people like Doug Mueller. You know he's a rock star. It's very difficult to find time with Doug. But Doug is here. Doug is here in India because India is important to him. The largest number of Remedy users in the world are in India. Not the customers, but the end users are here. This is the place where innovation happens. This is the place where great products and solutions are built. And so I hope that you guys make the most of your time with Doug Mueller, father of Remedy. It's just an honor to have him here. And I hope that you make the most of your sessions with him, things that he presents. But even after that, if you get some time to network with him or just spend a few minutes with him, I would ask that you take the time to spend with him. So thank you, welcome, and I hope you guys have a very successful evening. And congratulations again to the organizers for having organized this lovely event. So great job. Thank you.
It's a very special day for us. Tarun was at NASSCOM yesterday in Mumbai, and he came from Mumbai to Pune today just to attend this meeting, which is BMC Usergroup meeting. He takes these things really seriously when it comes to communities. It's also a very special day for him because it's his birthday today. It's very easy to remember. 14th February is the Valentine Day. One day before the messenger of love was born. Long live the king. The next speaker who's going to come up. Before that, it's time for goodies. So, one founder of Remedy who is attending the second BMC user group in Pune. Just name it. Show of hands and give his name. Okay. So you can give one chocolate over here. Doug Mueller. Doug Mueller. That's it. Okay. So the next speaker is going to speak on the world of BMC Remedy ITSM. He has a bachelor's in science, in computer science from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He was one of the 3 founders of Remedy Corporation in 1990. He started Remedy Corporation in 1990 and he has worked with it till date. So Remedy was bought over by BMC Software in 2002 and he's still working on Remedy platform. So it's around 24 years of experience in Remedy. Okay? And previously he worked at HP he was an architect at HP with DB tools and he was architect for the OpenView project. This was again what I got from the internet, but let me share a personal experience. Yesterday I walked into his table and I shook hands with him and I said, I'm going to introduce you tomorrow. So tell me something special about you that you would like to hear when I introduce you. So he said, just introduce me as a software developer of Remedy. It's firmly grounded. Doug Mueller for you.
Good morning, I've heard evening, good afternoon, who knows? It's like 3 a.m. as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for coming. Doug Mueller, I've worked with this product line for a year or two. The reality is I do consider, what do? I develop software. That's what my job is. A lot of people, ask how I want to be introduced. And I think the biggest honor I can can have and I can think of is that I'm someone who can build software and can help build software that solves problems. Because at the end of the day, I'm not into technology. For heaven's sake, this is my phone. Right? And so that tells you right there, I'm not into technology. I actually don't have a Facebook account. What I like to do is solve problems. I like to find things that allow problems to be solved, that allow people to do their jobs better and have a life. In technology, too often we do not have a life. We're working all the time. How do we change that so that we can transform how we're doing the business, so that we can stop doing all the mundane things that occupy all our time and do something more exciting? And that's what BMC is focused on. How do we transform the lives of IT so that we can make IT be more balanced? How do we transform what IT does so we can change how every single employee of a company is successful and can accomplish their goal? And so what you're going to talk about today, we're going to talk a little bit about history, a little bit about where we are, a little bit about where we're going, trying to focus on how do we help people transform IT from, hey, I work in IT to I work as a banker. I work as a retail specialist. I work as oil exploration, or whatever it is your organization does. Yes, unfortunately, that analogy really doesn't work well here because most of you, what you do is IT because that's what you do. That's what your company is about. So the analogy doesn't work very well, but that's okay. You get the point. How do we transform it so that you can be more successful without having to kill yourself to try to be successful? I have no idea where the microphone is. Here we go. So let's go ahead and start talking about a few things. Let me see how to get this to work. One of the things I wanted to really emphasize, and this is something that is not clear to a lot of people, is innovation. Tarun talked a lot about innovation. One of the focuses of the Remedy environment for the past 25 years has been innovation. If you look back at it, we were the first ones with web interfaces. We were the first ones with distributed technologies. We're the first ones with ITIL support. We're the first in feature and feature and feature. We were the first ones there. We were the first ones to introduce the ability to change the application by you being able to adjust it. Year after year, we're the first to deliver. And if you look at where we're delivering today, we continue that trend. We are the first to deliver. We're going to talk about a few of those things right now. Where what's interesting is in the industry, if you ask out there, you go out into a customer base, right now there's a perception that BMC is old and stodgy, and they're the ones that used to have things, and they're not doing anything exciting. Look at the reality of what's going on. BMC is the most innovative company in this space. If you look at all our competitors across the board, whether it happens to be a competitor in the service support space, in the automation space, in the performance space, we are the innovative company. We're the ones introducing new ideas and new approaches and new technologies. We happen to have a big problem about sharing that and touting our own progress, and we need to do better about that to help you guys out. But we are the ones that are doing the things that are changing how business is behaving. So let's take a look at another thing that happened. When BMC acquired Remedy, they were acquiring a help desk. They kind of forgot there was this thing called the action request system, this platform. They acquired, oh my goodness, not only do they have a help desk, they have change management. Oh my goodness, they have asset management and CMDB. And for years, that's where BMC, and that's what you hear about. What has recently happened is they've gone out and surveyed a bunch of customers. And my microphone went back, so I don't have to deal with that.
It'll be back soon.
Usually, I don't need a microphone, but
It'll be back soon.
the basic idea is they surveyed about 800 of our customers, and the customers came back and said, we have custom applications. Oh my goodness, custom applications, what are those? Things we have built on this platform called the Action Request System. Things to solve problems that aren't just incident management, problem management, change management. And yet, if you look on the BMC price list, there was no ability to buy a product called the Action Request System. Guess what there is today? There's the ability to buy a product called the Action Request System. So for those of you who think that the platform has gone away, it is being revitalized. We're going to talk about features we're adding to it. The idea of there being a platform that you can build those custom applications, that you can extend into, has been revitalized and reborn here at BMC. It is not just about the applications that we offer, although there's a lot about that, but it's also about having a solution environment that allows you to add those extra things on. That little application to solve the problem with IP address assignment, or that little side application that tracks shoplifters, or the little side application that does something else that's important to your business that wasn't able to be delivered in any other way, or that took a long time to deliver. It could be delivered quickly and efficiently. You're going to see that our SaaS environment allows you to build custom applications now. A year ago, we didn't support that. Today, we fully support app development within our SaaS environment, the Remedy on Demand environment. So we've restored that whole idea of the platform and the environment. And a lot of this came from the fact that we had customers doing it anyway. You guys were out building these custom applications, even though BMC didn't advertise it. We're back to advertising, we're back to building new applications. At the same time, we're having a current focus back to the innovation on where can we go? What is the important thing to our customers? So as Tarun mentioned, we were the ones to introduce the consumerized front end, not a mobile device. Mobile device is on your phone, accessing the same old app in the same way that you accessed it on your web environment. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about transforming the way you interact with these applications, finding the parts of the application you need and focusing on finding the best way to deliver those in the mobile, interactive environment that you're expecting today. So My IT is the application for everyone. It's that I'll ask for things, approve things, query knowledge in your environment, find out the status. It is the app, it is that interface for everyone. Whether you're on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop, it is the interface that every single employee should be using, not just for IT, but for everything in your business. Too many people get hung up about IT and IT request management. I'm sorry, it's about the business. You're trying to accomplish things for the business. Why do I go someplace different to ask for a new chair for my office than I do to ask for a computer? Why do I have to go one place? If a new employee is arriving, why do I have to go to the facilities team to ask for something, the IT team to ask for something, the HR team to ask for something? Why am I not just saying, I have a new employee arriving, here are the 5 key pieces of information, and all those teams are brought into it in the right order? By the way, order matters. Having the PC show up before the office is ready really sucks. You have to walk around with it under your arm for 4 weeks. Okay? Having the right things, making sure that, by the way, some subtle things like the payroll registration happens before the employee arrives so they get their paycheck. They consider that kind of important. Those details, all of them happen in the right way. Making sure that a business is successful, because IT is no longer this island sitting off to the side. It is an integral part of everything the business is doing. And you should find this more and more. You're no longer just supporting IT. You're supporting the business. How I need something, I should go one place to ask for it, no matter what it is. I shouldn't have to figure out where to go. I should go one place, one catalog, and it goes to the right people, whoever those people are. That's what you need to have happen. That's what my IT is about. It's about transforming that interaction. So it's the tool I go to when I need something, when I want to find something out, when I want to understand the layout, when I want to find a printer, when I want to see where the bathrooms are, whatever it happens to be, it's my interaction with the business so that I can be successful. We were the ones that introduced that concept of changing the way you interact with IT and with the business. Smart IT. This is for the staff users, not for the average end user. By the way, the staff users also use my IT because guess what? They are employees and people too. That's where they ask for everything. That's where they approve everything. But smart IT is that interface for the staff members. It is 50% of the functionality that you perform 80 to 90% of the time. It is not 100% of the functionality. I don't care how excited you are about working on your phone. I defy you to do cross-ticket correlation and analyzing a 6-week calendar on your phone. You just can't. There are advanced features you're going to need to do somewhere else, but you do those operations rarely. You don't do them every day. 50% of the capabilities are what you use 80 to 90% of the time. How do you bring those to that tablet environment, the mobile environment, and change the work environment? Change how you can function, how you can work. So you only go to that heavy-duty interface when you need one of the advanced features. How do you transform that worker's life? They can do whatever they need to do, the key operations from where they are, when they are, faster response, faster turnaround, because I tell you, we're not able to slow things down. The pace is ever increasing. And then we always have the full web interface. That has the full power, the full capability that offers all the features. Because at the end of the day, if your app only does simple stuff, you don't have the value. You need full featured applications. One of the things we're struggling with sometimes with our competitors is we have competitors out there that offer pretend applications. What do I mean by that? They're applications that do 10% of the job. They don't have the advanced features that you need to be able to do the job fully. They allow you to take a ticket, work it, and close it. But there's no controls. There's no assistance to be able to say, go gather data. Go automate whenever a ticket's created. Go automatically run analysis programs and bring them back to the ticket. Think about it. A lot of times the problem's gone by the time you get the ticket. How do you solve that? What if that data was gathered real time and brought back? You need that full functionality into the environment. So take a look at where we're going. We're continuing to focus, and where we're going is focusing on solutions, not just tools. We build a lot of tools, but you'll notice that a lot of the time we spend is about making sure they play together, making sure the data flows from your monitoring into your service support, out to your automation, so you have a holistic flow and it solves problems for your environment, not just allows you a bunch of tools that you have to keep solving problems. You cannot keep up. I don't care how many hours you invest. To Tarun's point, if you are going to double what you're doing and you're only going to increase by 30% the staff, you're all engineers and you can do the math. It doesn't work. Something has to change. The way you're doing business has to be much more efficient, much more integrated. You need problem-solving solutions, not just a bunch of tools. More tools are interesting, but not enough. And so our focus is on solutions and how they play together. Where are we going with some of our point solutions that are integrated together? So one of the things, there was a lot of requests about what's coming up, what's coming next. And before I go on to the what's coming next, I need to have the appropriate legal advisory. Anything I say may be a lie. Any date I give is pure fantasy. It will not happen at that time. It may or may not even be anywhere in the vicinity of any time I suggest. Any feature I discuss may or may not deliver soon, in the time frame I describe, or in fact ever. Okay, having said that, let's talk a little bit about what we are doing, which of course, none of it is true. Smart IT. We released the first Smart IT focused on the incident management. We need to focus on that user because we're not just delivering screens. We are transforming the interaction that you're doing. How many of you have seen the Smart IT or played with it? I would really encourage you to take a look. It is a transformation of how you work. It is not just bringing incidents to your phone. It is a new way of interacting that is much less focused on forms, much more focused on the way the incident worker does their work, so they can be more efficient and do their job better and faster. We're adding change management, knowledge management interfaces to the Smart IT, so that we're helping to transform now not just the incident worker, the change worker, the knowledge worker. And then over time, we'll be adding more modules and more interfaces. We're spending time making sure we can get customizations into it, so that if you've added customizations to the system, how do those flow out to this interface so that new fields you've added are still available? And because they were added for some reason, how do we make sure that they're available to your environment so they can do it? Making sure that we can integrate other things so that there's good integration for technology and the solution you need, so that there's the bar scanner integration, so that you can actually, instead of having to dig out and find under your computer something, you can just scan the image. Or I tell you what, who was one of the first users of that technology? It was actually a convenience store chain. Okay? The convenience store chain tagged all their coffee machines. why they tag your coffee machine. Anybody think they can understand that? If you're a convenience store chain, how is important is your coffee machine in the morning? It's about 90% of your business is tied to the coffee machine. If your coffee machine is down, the average business through this convenience store went down by 90% in the morning. What business impactful device do you have? It's a 90% business impact by one device going down. And by the way, it has nothing to do with IT. But by being able to scan that and just scan that, now they can actually track coffee machine availability. Availability of coffee machines being the most critical things. And you guys are worried about servers and networks, and they care about coffee machines. It's all about the coffee. And so the idea is really making sure we can tune this interface to move it forward. We've got a lot of things going on with these interfaces. My IT and Smart IT are on very fast development cycles. No one else is doing this. We have competitors scrambling to try to catch up with this technology. The next AR system release, it may or may not be called 9.0. Marketing changes the number. It's been 8.9, it's been 9.0, it's been released 2015. I don't know. It's in theory 9.0. In theory, it's releasing in early April. It is focused mostly on the platform. So showing that increased and renewed interest in the AR system as an environment, not just the applications. The vast majority of work in 9.0 is on the platform. There's a little work in the applications to take advantage of some of the new features of the platform and some bug fixes and things, but the vast majority of the work is on the platform. So some of the key things we've been looking at is we're changing the technology stack. We're making sure that we're keeping up with modern technology stacks, so that we're moving it from C to Java. Does that help you at all? Not directly, but indirectly, it allows us to maintain it better, and make sure the integrations are better, and make sure the integration tools are more possible, and we're making sure we're staying up with the modern technology there. We're making sure that we're keeping up with the requirements of the current technologies. We're adding a new reporting engine. We're actually embedding the Yellowfin engine that allows a much more advanced reporting capability. It's actually replacing a lot of the dashboarding technology that we've got today that allows sophisticated reports. We've enhanced our querying capability of the platform to allow you to do things like embedding functions in your queries, just to make the reporting more sophisticated and more advanced. Unfortunately, we only got it to the reporting interface, not to the other interface that you wanted to do that extra. And I have functions and like filter qualifiers and things. We've added a full REST API. There's actually some new slides here. Yeah, in-update reporting. Actually, let's go to the REST API. We added a full REST API. A lot of people have been asking for a RESTful API, a lot of you. Well, let me tell you, we've had a RESTful API of the actual request system for 25 years. You say, we had a RESTful API the whole time? What is a RESTful API? It's connectionless. It's stateless. It allows you to do the work and have credentials in every transaction so that you can actually reconnect at will. And it runs across a specific web service stack. Except for that last thing, we have been RESTful since 1990. That means making it a full RESTful interface was not that big a challenge. It's not like it's a risky challenge. It's yet another API with C API, with Java API, with RESTful API. They all have those characteristics. They just use different technologies for transport mechanism. So it's a fully functional API for data interaction on both the AR system and the CMDB. For those of you who need that for integration for your environments, fully available, full Metal Jacket REST API available in the 9.0 release. We've added for upgrades. I don't know if you're aware of this, but a few of you have said you've had challenges with upgrades. I know it's a surprise. Everybody just flawless upgrades, no issue. They take about 10 minutes. But a couple of you have said it's taken up to 20 minutes. Upgrades are an area that's enormously difficult. We've made major strides with upgrades. 8.1, for those of you who've done 8.1 upgrades, significantly cleaner, smoother, and easier than upgrades before 8.1. 9.0 increasing effort in that area. Another couple of key features we've added for upgrades. We've added a three-way merge tool. so that when you upgrade, we will now tell you every object we change that you have an overlay for. And then we will show you what it originally was from our definition, what our definition is now, and here's what your definition looks like. And we will highlight every single difference and let you walk through it graphically to see every difference of every object we have changed that you have also changed. And we're smart enough to not show you objects where the change doesn't matter. So if you've done an additive overlay adding permissions and we change the permissions, we will not call that out because it doesn't matter, because your change has no impact on the change we've made and will not be affected by it. But where there is a difference, we will show you graphically. We'll give you the entire list of every single object that has changed. We'll let you go through line by line and see every change. And you can mark things done. So you can actually have now a track of every single thing you've done, which objects have been reviewed, which ones you've already corrected or checked, and which ones are remaining to check. This is the type of innovation we're adding in this. This is an enormously complicated problem. How do you merge these changes together? We're now giving you tools to do that for you. We're adding a new feature we call Dev to Prod. It's a feature that allows you to package a set of changes and then verify them and validate them and have them as a unit, and then you can just move them to a new machine and say install that package. By the way, there's also a rollback. In case there was a problem with that, you can roll it back and restore your definitions from before that, allowing you to do much more sophisticated dev production moves in the environment. We're a lot of things. Archive improvements. We added a concept called associations, which allows you to define an ERD diagram for your entire application. And by the way, we did this to our apps. So we'll tell you every form is what forms it's connected to and what the primary key association table. And then you can do things like mark that's an archive association or not. What does that mean? It means that if it's an archive association, if you archive the parent, it takes the children with it. So now just by saying archive incidents, all the associated work logs, all the associated connected records go as a unit with it. We'll be using that to later do reporting, to later do imports and exports, so you can extract things as units of work, not just as individual entities, transforming how you can interact with the system. A lot of infrastructure support, a lot of things we're doing to the platform to really move it forward to the next level. This picture is about where we're going with applications and what we're thinking about. We're really focused on what we call a persona-based model. We're spending a lot more time saying, who is using the applications? What do they do day to day? What is their job? What is that first line technician's role, and what do they need to interact with, and what do they need to see? What is that advanced user, that third line technician who is doing the advanced escalations, what do they need to see? And optimizing the interface and the interaction for each of those users. So a first line technician will have an interaction that's appropriate for a first line technician. They'll see what they need to see, when they need to see it, the time they need to see it. A manager will get a completely different feel for the system and allow their interaction to happen, seeing the data they need to happen. And how can we change our applications to have this? This is where we're going. And going one step further, making it easy to build applications, but looking at how do we make a more process flow chart based mechanism for building logic and workflow. So some of you have seen things like the new acquisition we did with Model Designer, like the name right there. The Aptos acquisition, I forget what the product we called it. But you've seen that's a prototype. That's the first kind of style of what we're trying to do. How do I build the application with a process flow? What that is a higher level of working at building processes rather than you have to build all the low-level pieces. How can I do that in more business flow level and transform how I construct, how I modify, how I adjust applications? We're looking at how to do that. This is what we're trying to do with our application environment, trying to move you forward, paying attention to the platform, allowing you to have a much more powerful environment as you develop in it, allowing applications to be built more modularly, more simply, more quickly, more configurably, if you will, and less about customization. When you do need to do customizations, making it easy to move forward so that you can actually have very tight windows of upgrades, and the upgrades become much more automatic, much less traumatic. Really focusing on the upgrades to give you clear paths and clear directions about how to make things simple, clean, and obvious, so that that becomes just a, hopefully, at some point, it's the idea of, oh, a new Adobe thing, oh, just accept that. Oh, a new update came to the AR system environment. Oh, just accept that and let it happen. It happens cleanly and seamlessly in the background. How can we get rid of all those things in your way and let you focus on what's important? How you deliver better service to your customers. And giving you the tools like My IT and Smart IT that allows you to give the interfaces in the way they want to work at it, efficient, clean, and automatic. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully this was a useful little introduction and bit of your time. BMC is focused on making you successful. That's what everyone in this building, that's what everyone in the BMC offices around the world. How can we make our customers wildly successful, and how can we delight you so that you have a better experience and a better ability to deliver to your customers? Our job is to make you a great experience with your customers. If we're not doing that, please let us know. Nice and organized and quiet. And when you throw soft things, please. But hopefully you're seeing the result of that. We got a little behind on a few things a couple years ago. We're back. We're fixing those things. We're improving on those things. So thank you for your time. Please enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Next up, we have three speakers who will be speaking on Remedy. The speeches will be for 20 minutes. So the speakers, please note the timings of the speech. There's a timer in the room. He's Gautam. Gautam, you can stand up, please. Yes. So he's having a timing device between green, yellow, and red. The green would be signaled at the 15th minute. Yellow will be signaled at the 18th minute. And red would be signaled at the 20th minute.
Okay, I need to interrupt here. For those of you who know me, I did not get a red card.
Gautam's hobbies other than software development are he's a boxer at the center, and he does not like people who don't stick to time. So please stick to your time. And it's time for the goodies. So there's a notice for the partners. Doug would be available to take any specific business use case related requirement. He's available right now also. And at 7 o'clock, we'll be breaking for the networking. He's inside the column. So if the partners have any specific questions, you can just catch up. Okay. Time for some goodies. We just heard about Smart ID version 1. What is the key differentiating feature? Raise of hands, and you can answer and take on the goodie. Key differentiating feature of Smart ID version 1.0. Sales people should know it. It's the smart recorder. Okay, one more question. BMC's event management software was called BPPN. Okay, it has been rebranded. What is the new name? Show of hands. Blue Side is a product suite. What is the specific name? That's right. You can give him the. Okay, so you can give 2 chocolates, 1 to Girish. Third one is really simple. Remedy Enterprise Software as a Service version is referred as show of hands, please. ROD, that's the acronym. So you can give one chocolate behind. Okay, so for the next speaker, she's going to speak on performance testing of Remedy. She's from VM Labs. She's a senior Remedy consultant at VM Labs and has completed her Bachelor's of Engineering in Electronics and Telecommunication from Srinagar Technical Education Society. Her expertise are post-implementation support, performance testing of BMC Remedy ITSM applications. She also conducts workshops and delivers administration and developer and end user trainings on BMC Remedy ARS 7.x, 8.x, BMC Remedy ITSM 7.x, 8.x, BMC ATM CMDB 7.x, 8.x. Please help me welcome with a round of applause Chaitali Patwa, and she has logged in today to BMC Usergroup.
Hello. Hey, hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. So I'm Chaitali Patwa, as he's already introduced, but then I would like to introduce myself a bit more. He's just given the internet introduction, so of course that is more or less similar to what I would be saying. So the major focus would be performance testing of BMC Remedy application, ITSM application. We have our own product that is the Beyond Performance Test Edge. Has anyone heard about this? Any idea? Oh, you're from Vyom Labs. Someone from outside Vyom Labs? Okay, so basically I would be talking about performance testing. So, the world has all changed from Remedy be here and Remedy everywhere, right? So this is something, this type of a testing is carried out before your system actually goes live, right? We are more interested in knowing how our system would perform. That is, we have that curiosity, right? And anxiousness, how our system would perform, what would be the workload, how the users would be performing, right? Be it an end user, be it a support staff. So recently we have implemented, we've carried out this testing for Capgemini for the version ITSM version 8.1 SP2 service pack. Okay, so yeah. Now I was saying performance testing. Now, what is the main benefit of this performance testing? Like, why is this performance testing required? So basically, we have the main objective is to check how the system is responsive, right? So you have the increasing workload. The number of users goes on increasing, and we need to check how the system is going to be performing under that given workload. So, and how the system will be stable, and how it will respond, right? So, some of the key advantages are the stability and responsiveness, and when do we recommend this type of testing? So, as I've already mentioned, it would be before the system goes live, right? So, it could be either you have upgraded to a newer version, so to check the performance. Say, for example, most of the clients are upgrading from 7.604 to 8.1. Currently, we've been observing that. So that is something, and we have. So what we had done actually for Capgemini is we had two instances. One was the India instance, and the other one was a Paris instance. They had their data center in Paris. So the India instance was already in production, and the Paris instance was in UAT. That is the stage before production. You guys might be aware. So that was our main objective, to baseline or benchmark the India instance and test the one which was in UAE. So we had benchmarked the production one, and we had baselined the Paris one, India one, and we had tested the Paris instance using our own product, that is TestEdge. Okay. Yeah. So now, what do we do here? How is this particular type of testing carried out, right? So we actually calculate. The first thing is to look out what is the load of transaction, how many users would be logging tickets, what would be the total count of create operation. It could be a search operation, it could be an update. We normally perform these three types of operations in remedy. It could be either creation of incident, problem, change requests, right? So create, update, and search. These three are the main transactions. So we first analyze what type of data is it, how the say for example, here in this case we have peak load per hour, that is 420 transactions taking place, right? Now when we say 420 transactions and the maximum number, assume that this test would be running for 1 minute, okay, and the total number of users is 7. So there would be every user creating. So what we do here is we simulate, we record the script. There would be 7 users simulated on the system who would be performing their transaction, and then the calculation is such that the total number of transactions carried out per hour, the product of the users and the transactions would give you the final count of transactions. I hope I'm pretty much clear. If you have any questions, you can please raise them. So what the users are the concurrent users. We normally call them concurrent users by some other testing tools, but test stage mainly we have the threads, user threads running in parallel. So we have our own. We've modified the code, and then the threads have been such that we can simulate the load as required by the application. The typical process, what we follow using our tool, the first step is to record a script, record the use case, whatever it is. So here in this case, we have typically we write the script. Writing is what? Recording a script. Then we try to mimic it with real life scenario. Mimic it as a real time usage. And next thing is we populate the data. Then parameterize the inputs, because the incident ID, say for example, it has to be unique, right? Or else it throws an error, correct? So we need to parameterize. We parameterize the scripts in such a way that we pass some variables at the runtime and create load on the system accordingly. So the next thing, whenever we play back, everything gets stored. Whenever we play back the scripts, that time you can find that we need to include some wait time or certain delays. Because it is not that the system is going to be entering, logging in, creating, just coming out. It takes some time, right? So the moment you play it back, it would go on creating incidents. The load would be too much, but then it won't replicate what is expected, right? So this is something we add delays into it. Okay. Yeah. This is a typical active threads over time graph. The graph is for 25 users in parallel logging into the system with an initial delay of 0. Then the startup time, also called as ramp up time, the hold time, and the shutting down time, or we also call it as ramp down time in our test stage. So basically what we do here is startup time means all the threads or all the users, they take what is the total time for them to become active, log in, and to start their transactions. Hold time is going to be the time which would actually, it is the time that for that particular time or for that particular duration, the user would be performing transactions. Say for example, the user is logged in, that means he's active. He's creating an incident, he's navigating to the incident console, then he would create an incident, submit a ticket, and then he would log out. So this is the cycle in which it is actually replicated in the form of graphs. Okay. Yeah. So testing, basically testing, we need to carry out multiple runs. It is not just that you carry out one test run and it's successful in the first go itself, right? We need to test the performance multiple times, and then we can drive the final conclusion through it. So what we follow a practice is we test one user per script. We have a testing done for multiple users and multiple scripts. Then we test it for 1 hour, 4 hours duration. It depends on how the system, how the requirement is. So we can even have it for a 24-hour time. The testing can be done even for 24 hours, a complete day. Okay? Yeah, these are all the versions that our tool supports. Tested. It supports right from 7604 to 8.1, the latest one, that is the SP2 version as well. So we've done this for Capgemini recently. I would mainly focus on the case study which we have actually carried out recently. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Capgemini had its instance in Paris, which was to be tested, which was in UAT, and the India one, which was benchmarked. We had carried out the testing for the India instance on weekends, that is during the non-peak hours, okay, off-peak hours. And then we had carried out 2 different types of runs here. The client had demanded it in such a way that we had first tried it with, we had first tested the system with a 15 minutes run, 1 user, and then followed by a 4 hours test run. So this was done, whatever was done for the India instance, this same architecture was present for the Paris instance, and we actually had a comparison of how the system is performing for the India instance, which is actually live, and the one which would go live. Okay. Yeah. Most important thing I forgot to mention here is they had an increasing load of 1,000 virtual users. So their main requirement was to check, test the system performance for quite huge load, that is 1,000 users. And we had done this testing, and I'll just show you a few reports. I have the screenshots of the reports as well. You can get a clear picture of how it was done, and it would give a clear picture of the graphs. Okay. Before I move to the graphs, what I'll do is I'll just tell you briefly about the test scripts or the use cases which were designed. So we had a create incident, search and update incident. Then they demanded for creating workload, work order, and then update and search and update the work orders that were created. So what we would do here is we would create an incident, update the one which was created. Okay. So the users doing or performing the update operations, they would log into the system with a delay of 10 minutes or so. So the ones which would get created would get updated. Okay. Similarly, for the service, we can have a better picture. Like it was even for the end users as well as the support staff. Reporting. Now we have carried out the testing. Client demands is the reports, which is something very important, right? So reports, we mainly monitor the parameters like the response time, the throughput, how many times the server has got hit. Then we even have the summary report, which is of course in a tabular format. We do have pictorial plus a tabular format reports as well. So it is something very interesting one. Yeah, this is the actual report from the from our tool, and which was actually tested for the Paris instance for Capgemini. So this is the report. There are various threads. You can see the blue one signifies creation of service request. They had the maximum load of users creating service request. Okay, so they had the load of 1,000 concurrent users. Out of those, 500 users were actually creating service requests. Some were creating incidents and some were creating work orders behind the scenes. So something very important and interesting is this report. This report is actually the performance monitoring of the server, the application server. So it monitors the server performance, to say the CPU utilization, the memory consumption, and you can also have multiple other network parameters monitored if you have the agents installed on those servers. Response time percentile, what is the percentage, what is the percentile of the users, those have carried out transactions, say for example, 90% of the load, the 90% of the transactions were carried out, so this actually replicates that the system performance was pretty much good. Right? We can have it in a combined format, plus we can have it an individual one. This This is just for the save, incident save. The response time after you click the submit button to save an incident. Okay. So this is the response time percentile graph, which can be captured for saving an incident. Similarly, for other applications as well, it does support each and every module from ITSM. This is the response time distribution, the bar graphs, which we call it in common. So we have the response time distribution. This is again for an incident. We also can have it for multiple other applications. Okay. Yeah. So, any questions? Anyone? Any questions? So, like, I hope this information has helped you all out. It's all something which we have developed. Beyond Labs has developed its own product. We are using our own IP for this performance testing, and it's very important to have the testing done from before the system goes live. Something very important. Yeah, it's done on the ITSM application.
At Doug's point, it's an application developed on the AR system.
Yep. Using the REST API.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, Peter.
Small announcement. We are going to have a dedicated networking break towards the end, that is at 7 o'clock. So you can come back in case if you have left this room. Okay. Time for a goodie. So there's a volunteer who's giving the chocolate. Okay. Okay, what BMC product finds the data center assets and relationships between them? Name the product. ADDM, that's an acronym, so you can give the full form. Ethereum discovery and dependency mapping. That's right. So we can give a chocolate to him. I'll give it to you. Okay. According to Gartner, who lies in the top magic quadrant for IT, SSM, and IT OM space? Which product? According to Gartner, who lies in the top magic quadrant for IT, SSM, and which BMC product? Okay, that's remedy. So one chocolate for you also. Request everyone to please come and join us. We are having a break at 7 o'clock. You can just join us, please. While the crowd is settling down, one easy question. What is the name of BMC's global conference where customers, partners, and industry experts come together for technical sessions, hands-on learning labs, and first-hand experience with the BMC products and solutions? BMC Engage. Okay. So who? Okay. So you get one chocolate at the back also. Okay. So now I see two hands going up. I request everyone to please settle down so that the speaker will not get distracted. The next session is on changing expectations, remedy, and smart IT. So the speaker is an architect of Remedy ITSM and now Smart IT. His focus has been on making ITSM and Smart IT more scalable, multi-tenant, and leisure to use. Prior to BMC, Samir has been an entrepreneur, a director, COE head, and a technologist. Today, he will be demoing us the value proposition of Smart IT. Please help me welcome, with a round of applause, Samir Mardhekar.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Hello. Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. Check. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks on behalf of BMC that you all come down here. Good to see partners and customers coming down here, taking interest in games product, and we are very much interested, like Doug and Tarun said, in understanding what you feel about our product, what you want to leverage our product, and even understand the value proposition that we have. When I think you can't hear, I did this during demo. So I was with ITSM till 8.1, and after that I'm on Smart IT, part of the architecture team. So I'm going to talk today about Smart IT. What is it about? And I think earlier probably Doug asked this question: how many of you have seen Smart IT? And I didn't see too many hands, so that's good, because then it's something new that we'll be looking at. And it's very important for you all to understand what Smart IT is all about. So you engage with customers and you have seen the roadmap. Doug just showed you the roadmap. So you have seen that there will be a lot of cool things that are going to happen. Smart IT is one of the cool products which came last year, okay, by year end, and that's why it's now picking up. You will soon see your customers and our customers also kind of asking about Smart IT and how it can be used and what is the value to it. So let's look at that. So it's all about changing expectations. Okay, so why do I call it changing expectations? So have the expectations about the applications changed at all in the last few years? They certainly have. So what has caused that changing expectations from from the customer community, from your business users and everybody else? What has happened so drastically different? Because we have been developing applications for the last 20 years, but the applications of today are very, very different. Even enterprise applications. What has happened is this, okay? There have been mushrooming applications in the retail space, in the mobile space. The way you interact with each other has changed. Every now and then, anything that you want to do, okay, now you would think about pulling out your mobile, okay, and then searching something, contacting somebody. There is no single way that you contact somebody. One of you will use I to send a message, somebody will use something else. How you interact with application is today extremely different, okay, and much more simpler compared to what it used to be earlier. But some of you will say, okay, that's fine, but those are just some random mobile application. They are not. The reason is the generation that is going to be using these applications is the same generation which will be sitting and using the ITSM applications. If you think about service desk agent of today as a young generation, Gen Y as you call it, right? 18 years, 20 years, 21 years. They use these applications. So the way you interact with an application is being defined by these applications.
yes, these applications do have impact on the way we design our application going forward. BMC realized this about 2 years back. Okay? And so we did a lot of study in terms of how business user interact. IT user is no different. IT user is an IT specialist. He's a technologist like you and me, right? So they know the technology much better than anybody else, the business user. So what are the tenets? So the architectural tenets of the way you develop application has changed. What are those tenets? Let's look at them. Any application, doesn't matter if it is any random mobile application or an enterprise application. Enterprise application running on mobile or browser, doesn't matter. Has to be simple and easy. Think about the complex screens that we have been given. Help desk application, HPD help desk. How many fields does it have? Could you count? Could probably not count. You are off by maybe a few hundreds. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. I mean, in a process-oriented world where you are dealing with the best pharma, the best company, and which is extremely process-oriented, yes, you do need that. So the applications where process-oriented, even today, your application have to be IPI compliant and XYZ compliant and whatnot. That's fine. But still, that doesn't mean it cannot be simple and easy. It has to be as simple and easy as Google. That's how I always put it. And think about Google. Is it a simple application? Think about what Google does behind the scene. It's not a simple application, but look at the interface. It's simple. So there is a redefinition of how you develop application. They have to be intuitive, okay? Which means I don't have to go through 20 days of training to understand how I use the application. You have to do that today. But yeah, I mean, can that whole perception be changed? Can the novice young generation users who will be sitting on their machines, can they be using applications the way you use your mobile device application? You just download it, right? You download it, start using your application. And a number of them. So that's another one. Context aware. We never thought about this, but can an application be intelligent enough, smart enough? Smart, right? So can an application be smart enough so that it knows who you are, it knows whom you are interacting with, your customer. As I'm talking to of a person of a service agent. And where you are, where the agent is, where are the others who probably can help me solve that whole issue that customer is facing. If you can bring that context, your application becomes intelligent, your application becomes smart. Collaboration. Every now and then, I don't know how many times you pull out your mobile to find out there is a ping, every 2 seconds, every 2 minutes, and WhatsApp message, this message, all that. That's a different way of collaboration. The way you collaborate with others has been redefined. Why is it not true for your IT staff? Right? The IT staff also would be using this application. Can this paradigm of development be brought into enterprise application in a subtle way, in such a way that it helps you solve issues? That's another one. Self-service. Self-service is a system trying to help you solve the problem. Not just business user, but you as a staff, IT service-based agent as well. Can we do that? I'll show you what that means. And finally, available anywhere. I just said that, right? It doesn't matter what you use. It doesn't matter whether you use a small mobile device or whether Android or iOS or a very high-end powerful laptop with a high-end router. It doesn't matter. The functionality that you would do regularly should be available to you. These become the tenets of developing the new age applications. What I'll do is, I think a lot has been talked so far, so I'm going to just skip through and take you to Smart IT. So what is Smart IT? Smart IT is remedy. First of all, let's not forget. Okay? We are all remedy developers that we are here, and Smart IT is essentially remedy. It's a layer on top of remedy. It leverages the power of remedy. It leverages the backend process engine, the workflows, and the customization, and whatever has happened of remedy. But it builds a different kind of experience. Probably even our competitors would not think of. It is certainly intelligent. I try to define what is intelligent, what is smart. It is beautiful in the sense it's something that you would feel like working with. Your service-based agent should not feel, oh shucks, I have to log into an application and raise a ticket and figure out how to solve. No, it has to be much more appealing than that. Okay? And secondly, it must be mobile compliant. Okay? It must run on whichever device that you would want it to run on. With that, instead of going on many more slides, I probably another 30 slides, but rather than that, let me just show you what Smart IT is all about. But I guess not many of you have played with it. basically I'm going to tell you a story of, just like you said, right? A day in the life of a service desk agent, trying to solve issues raised by its customers. Okay, so here is smart IT. So think about, who are we talking about? So let me show you who we are talking about. What are the personas that we have in mind? So these are the personas. They're talking about the 1.0 release of smart IT, right? So in 1.0 release, we are basically addressing the service desk agent persona. Okay, so that persona is the persona who faces the customer business users and tries to solve various issues, incidents being raised by leveraging the power of remedy. So there are certain flavors of it. Okay, so those of you who have used ITSM, you're familiar with Alan and Bob and all that, right? I mean, those are the guys who are essentially the first line, the true service desk persona. They take the call, they receive the email, they react it. A lot of times they try to first call resolution, FCR, right? But most times they may interact with the backend. They probably will assign, reassign, and get the job done. They have to be within the SLA. Then there is this field support technician, Mary. She's the one whose job is, based on the certain request, she has to actually go physically to a printer or a Xerox machine or a projector and go there and fix problems. Or maybe add new things, add new USB cable and things like that. Then there are the backline, second line, third line agents. Okay? They are the ones who work in the back end, they probably build the right patches, they give the solutions, and they're the IT specialists, okay, to which whenever needed, service desk will pass on. Some server goes down, go down, and do certain seconds. Of course, there is a manager persona, but probably I don't have time to go into that. So these are personas we are looking at. Of course, not to forget the final persona, which is like Jens and Martins and all that, who are the personas which I'll be talking about. They are the business users. Okay? They don't know about ITSM really. They don't know about smart IT and all that. All they know is they have an issue. Okay? They need to reach out to somebody somehow. Okay? And get the things solved fast. Okay? And job of these guys is get the things solved fast. Again, so essentially that is the basic business expectation that. So here is Bob, and Bob is in Smart ID. Okay, he has logged in. The first thing normally, so as soon as he logs in, typically he'll go to a dashboard, and that gives him an idea what are the things that are happening here. So he sees, wow, things are great. All incidents, 100% incidents solved, on time, resolution is being done properly. All the KPIs that you can think about, okay, they are being addressed. And then there is a dashboard which tells him about all the work orders and new things which are being laid down and services coming up and all that. Along with that, there is something else here which is called as update feed. That's again kind of social concept. It's something by which you know what anything that is happening in the world of ITSM that you are concerned with. So if there is something, if you're following a ticket, if you want to know that there was a certain ticket on which you were depending on something, the ticket was pending, it was assigned to you, and you want somebody else to do something so that to finish a task so that it can come back to you. You will come to know about it. If somebody mentions you somewhere, ask for help. Well, IT person has to ask for help. We ask for help, right? If something is wrong, my program is not compiling, I will go and ask for help. How do you ask for help today? You use corporate mechanisms of interacting. You use link. You could use anything else. Right? That's another way that I'll show you how you could use. You don't have to leave ITSM anymore. You don't have to leave Smart IT anymore. You are within Smart IT, and you can interact with anybody that you want. You see all of that is happening there. In ITSM world, when you take certain actions, as part of the process, you would have to create a workflow. Okay? That's a more process-oriented way of it. Here, you just post a comment. Anonymous. Post a comment. Somebody looks at it, he may like it, and he may say, well, whatever you did is not right. So all those things you'll be able to observe here. Filter entered here now. That's your first step. Of course, most important thing for the agent is you better be watchful. Okay. So the few things which you would watch out for are my tickets, critical tickets, new tickets, open tickets, okay, things which really matter to me. So let's say Bob is watching critical tickets because that's the first thing he has to address today, right? So system basically helps him quickly narrow down what is his job now, what is the pending job today, and not just that. You see a kind of a SLM integration here, so you have a SLA status that tells you, oh, there are certain targets, certain things which are under target, and certain things which are being breached. So this is the one which is being breached. He's doing that, and then suddenly he receives a call. Wearing the usual headset, first line is support agent, right? Service desk. He has to wearing the headset, and somebody calls him. He gets a call. He picks up the call. The guy that is calling him, let's say, whatever, James Barnes. He's the guy who is calling him. And he says, I have a problem. Now, what in a typical, pretty classic ideation that we have in the market, what would Bob do? He'll try to create an incident, right? He'll go and try to create an incident. He'll first listen to it. A lot of times, so that is where I think a lot of behavioral analysis was done. It's like Apple does, right? They go and observe customers and study from there. Our teams, our product management and UX team have exactly done that. They went and studied what are those 80% situations, what are those typical calls that you get, what do you do exactly in those cases. By studying that, they realized a lot of times these agents would not actually use ITSM. They wouldn't use a remedy. They would use a notepad, or they would use Post-it or something. They would just note down a few things. They won't directly go and create a ticket. Why? Because it takes time to create a ticket. Right? It takes time to fill in information. It takes time to figure out what is the operational categorization, what is product categorization, which assign you to assign to. It may take a couple of minutes, whereas you are trying to respond to your customer fast. What do you do here? So once you realize that, what we realize is the real innovation that we need is instead of presenting those 80 drop downs or 20 drop downs and 30 feeds and all that, can we have system fill that up automatically? All you need is a notepad. Okay, so we said, okay, let's give them instead of a form-oriented way of recording the issues and challenges, let's give them a formless way of entering the information. Okay? So that's what, in the new age, in the smart IT, that's what the agent would do. He'll go to smart record. This looks like Google. There's nothing here, no feed. There are no feeds here. How can this system help me at all? So he asked him, hey, who are you? Who did you say you are? So this guy says, okay, my name is James. This guy, Bob starts typing. The system gives him some help. He says, okay, are you James Barnes from Petramcos? He says, yeah, I'm James Barnes. The moment he says that, now Bob doesn't know James, right? He doesn't know history of James. But system is intelligent now. System is saying, I'm going to give you the all 360-degree view of this James guy. So you know upfront, is there something wrong with with this system? So if you can see here, right? It's telling you where is James, where is he located, what are the sites, how has he rated the IT? Okay, what were there any escalations that were kind of created so far, and then it also tells him what are the assets, which assets does James own or does James use. Okay? So you know upfront a lot of things. If this is the asset, then you have some intelligence somewhere which tells you, oh, something has gone down. So a lot of context there. Not just that. You can see all the open tickets. If is customer going to scream at you, what is his problem? What is he really waiting for? And what are the things which were solved? How they were solved? And for that, you can drill into that now. So in that instant of time, there is a lot of information. This is the view of your customer right there. The next thing that Bob will ask James is, okay, so what is wrong? What is wrong with it? He says, I had this problem last week. I'm having the same problem now, and that's basically I'm at home. I'm using VPN, and I can't connect to the network. So essentially, as per practices, right, the service agent is supposed to go and capture verbatim things which customer says. So let's say I start capturing. VPN connectivity. See the right hand side. That is what we call a smart search. The smart recorder having a smart search. What has that system done? Okay, it has fetched a lot of relevant information. Okay, smartly, productively. Okay? It has fetched the templates which are kind of relevant. incident templates, but if I go a little bit down, I will see maybe service request templates and request templates and all of that. Next thing it does is it pushes relevant knowledge to the agent. Agent doesn't have to search for it. Okay? Yeah, of course. The typical process would be I record whatever customer says. I will say, okay, fine, I'll look into it. I'll look into it because my SLA is 4 hours. I still have time. Question is, can we crunch that SLA down? The system is not pushing things to you. It's telling you, okay, if this is your problem, then there seem to be some articles here which could help you solve the problem. Yeah. Without living the context, I can actually dig in and find out, read the articles and start communicating. At that instant in time, I'm actually communicating with the customer. Hey, so when you can not be, is this the problem? Have you tried this? Kind of. Customer say, I tried it. Well, I have not tried it fully, but yeah, maybe I'll go ahead. I'll try that. Now that's important. So, what would you typically do, right? You note down something. That's how our SD agents work, right? I mean, the UX teams in the approach and this all. They take notes, pin it up. Okay. So let's say I pin up this article. Say, okay, this is something that is useful. If I'm going to create a ticket, I can't solve this problem. If I solve this problem, I don't have to do much. But if I can't, maybe I know I need to read myself and then guide it later on. So I just pin that up. The next thing. So the next thing I do is, okay, so you're asking, so are you using a so and so asset that is right there? PLM, whatever. Yeah, that is asset. Okay, fine. So let me go ahead and yeah, the most important thing. So here you have certain templates, right? And you're familiar with the incident templates. These are the ones which will help you really fill your incident quickly. So you pick up the template. So there's a template here which says cannot connect to VPN. So I pick that up. And I tell the system, go ahead and create a ticket. Okay, now because we have picked up the incident template, the system knows that it's not a work order, it's not a service-based incident. It goes ahead and creates the incident. Well, it has not really created it yet. It's still to be saved. It's still kind of in a drop state. It's still in the this guy, Bob is still on call. So he says, okay, you try this step. I will get back to you. Okay, I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Now, how come Bob is going to get back to you in a couple of minutes? Because whatever Bob suggested just now didn't work. He told him, I'll try, but okay, let's see that. Now, in the meantime, if you see here, so for the incident, if you see a lot of things have been already pre-populated now. So all I did was type and click few things, okay? And your incident is almost now ready to be created. Not just that. Here, the system has figured out based on the template, etc., that what is the category, category of the problem I can networking. Not just that, it's more intelligent. This is not the right category. Okay, so if I close this out, system will go ahead and try to match that I'm talking about, and it will kind of give me a list like this. So there is a little bit of analytics. When we talk about SMAC and analytics, so essentially at every stage, right from smart recorder, where we saw smart searches, to every field, okay, we have tried to introduce some smartness, okay, where your thinking process is down and your system is doing a lot of things. That's why it's smart. That's why it's smart. Anyway, so let's say I pick up whatever, and then I proceed. Okay, so of course you are familiar with the assignment engine of ITS and AR, right? So it takes over and all that, but you can go ahead and kind of reassign it to yourself. So it can either you can tell the system to auto assign, or you can decide to maybe assign to yourself. Because service-based agents have a vested interest, especially they don't want too much of bouncing. If they solve it in the first go, they get one smart, they get chocolates. So Alan's Bob says, okay, let this ticket be. He says, okay, let me go ahead and save it. I need just a couple of minutes to figure out how to solve this problem. So he says, James, I'll reach out to you. Just give it to me. The next thing for him to do is he does a little bit of study. System has already recommended certain incidents, so he looks at those incidents a little bit in details. He finds maybe one So he says, okay, whatever instruction I gave didn't work. Okay? But there is probably a similar incident which was solved maybe 2 days back by Nikki. Okay? And he sees a green dot against Nikki. So what does that mean? That means I can actually reach out to Nikki using my real-time interaction mechanism chat. So that's when he says, okay, let me start a new chat, okay, with Nikki, just the way you would pull up WhatsApp or something else, any other chatting mechanism, Microsoft Lane, and start asking questions, right? You start asking questions and say, okay, how do I solve this? So that's what he tries to do. So he tries to find Nikki, okay? She is the IT specialist. He is very good into the whole IT networking and all that. He wants to go ahead and ask her a question. So he goes and says, hi Nikki. Can you help me? Now, where is Nikki? So here is Nikki. She gets a message, okay, on the chat. Can you help me? Okay, so she says, okay. So this is okay. What's the problem? And so on and so forth. Okay? So they go ahead, they do a lot of chatting, okay, essentially. And let's say she helps. He finds the problem. She maybe gives him a right link to the right knowledge article, which he couldn't figure out just now. So he gets that. He can archive all this history that has happened. Where does it go? So that all that is being done right now. Okay, against the incident, we have introduced the concept of an incident timeline. You guys use Facebook. Facebook has a timeline, right? It's your timeline. You as a person have a timeline. What we said is okay. That is okay. That's perfectly fine. Each timeline which where he knows what he did and all that. That's a good practice. Good for his manager to find out what he really did and how he contributed and all that. More than that, every entity in ITSM, a ticket, an asset, or anything, work order, and anything else that you can think of has a timeline. That tells you exactly the history of what happened in the life cycle of an incident. How many times it got created, status changed, it got reassigned, interaction happened, discussion happened, and how things were solved. So all that can actually get kind of captured in that video. So he goes through this, okay. He finds the right resources and maybe he finds the right, let's say this is the right article finding, or maybe he changes, maybe he finds the right article. And from here, then he can go, and then from here he can go and say, save and resolve. So that's this 2-minute process of actually taking help from whoever you want and going ahead and solving. So that's the interaction. In this interaction, so whenever, let's say so another thing that you can do is you can inspect and go and find out profiles of various IT agents which are there in the organization and what do they do and what are their typical specialties and things like that. So what kind of incidents are being solved? What are the typical assets that are being managed? So whether for Nikki or whether for I don't know anybody else, which support belongs. So although that information is also readily available. Now, what this is the interaction that you are seeing here using browser. Same interaction is possible actually using mobile devices. So I have a video, but I guess there's a yellow light right here. I'm working with the boxer. So what I would do is, I don't know whether, hey Himadri, you're there? Okay. So Himadri is actually the manager of Smart IT. He's around this device, and Vikram, are you around? Okay, yeah. Vikram is our lead. He's our lead for Smart IT, right? So get in touch with them during the networking time. You'll get to see exactly your somewhat similar interaction plus many more features which I can't cover right now. Okay, and interact with them. They'll show you live on the devices. Get the feel of it. You can actually play with it yourself, kind of see the smart recorder, see the smart LCD timeline, all the interaction. So with that, now before I just close, the most important message I want to give to you is, first of all, Smart IT is not something very different. Yeah, it has its own installer and it can run with any ITSM instance, starting with 764SP2 onwards. Okay, you can install Smart IT on top of any of these instances. It works any of these versions. It will work with those. Okay. Number one. Number two, as of now, this Smart IT product is available kind of without any fees. It's free for now for you. You have to see that how your customers can be show this, given the value of this, and there's a lot of other business value propositions which I didn't go into because I think the other guys we work very closely with the product, but there are other business propositions which can be shared by people. You can help us, take it to your customers, tell them the value. We're all there. With that, I can stop here.
Questions, anyone?
If I do have an AR system and I want to get Smart IT, what is the actual timeline that it will take me to implement Smart IT on my existing AR system?
Yeah. So the best part is, like I was saying, you don't have to upgrade Smart IT. The upgrade grand stuff is coming. I can't say when. It's very. I don't have upgrade to say when you don't have that. But till then, if you're using any of the existing version, your version will remain the same. The Smart IT installer in our labs, the Smart IT installer takes 10 to 15 minutes, and I have installer here, and you can also work 10 to 15 minutes to actually start. You have to patch a little bit on your tenant. We put about maybe 15, 20 new forms and new fields and all that. That's pretty fast. So if you're not upgrading, we ensure that the core IT things are not touched with have customization, right? So whatever we needed extra to build the intelligence, we have done it incrementally. So I would say 10, 20 minutes when you install the Smart ID, in 20 minutes on your AR server. That's all. So, yeah. Anybody has a mind?
So in my environment, if I have 4 tenants, and from that 4 tenants, if one tenant decides that I want to use Smart IT, others still opt that I'll stay in LTS. Okay. So is that possible? And after that tenancy?
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. I think so. Essentially, what we call it as a shared model, which means your Smart IT is shared across multiple tenants, and each tenant can be a. So basically, the question is about if I have multi-tenant environments, okay, and I have Smart IT fronting them, can one of the tenants be on a different version and work with whatever they use? Yeah, absolutely. So when you install Smart IT, your mid-tier still continues to be there. Your mid-tier is still talking with your tenants. You are installing Smart IT independently. It has its own Tomcat instance. The patch doesn't really affect your function, right? So you could put the patch on whichever tenant you want. Okay, that once you enable that patch and you configure your Smart IT to point to that tenant, Smart IT is up and running for that customer. Other customers who do not want it, that's fine. That's exactly how we are doing it in our team. So other customers start their URLs. The URLs are a little different, right? They continue going through /ERSys. They keep hitting here. This URL is /smart URL, right? Only if you go through that and only if you enable, then it is smarted. So absolutely easy. And I was saying one level beyond that, that if one of your tenant is M604 and others is you can still go with that. Your Smart ID is still running with that. That's something that we have to really work hard to make it work. That works. So I think the light is right. and run too fast. So from Gautam, maybe I think maybe we'll take more questions. I will all be around. Himan is there, Vikram is there, I'm there. So I think we'll take more questions and discuss during that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So how many of you are going to experience smart IT during the networking session? Show of hands, please. Oh, we need more hands. Okay. So the networking session will start at 7 o'clock. Before that, we have one more speech. So the speaker is going to give a speech on cloud as a service. He's a senior consultant at Column Software Technologies Private Limited. How many of you are from Column Software Technologies? Wow. So he's your speaker. And he's working with the company for past 8 years in BMC Remedy and CLN as a part of the PS team. I welcome Chetan Shinde.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. So let's move to the agenda of the meeting. So today I'll be talking on cloud management platform. Following to that, what exactly cloud as a service is and what we as a company offer about BMC CLN. What is the difference or what is the advantage that we provide above CLM, which will be the provisioning up the stack, and what value do we provide to the end customers? Following to that, there'll be a question and answer session. So firstly, to understand what BMC CLM is. So BMC CLM is a flagship product which brings in together the data center management tools of BMC. So namely server automation, which is responsible for provisioning, compliance and remediation, auditing, etc. Network automation for the network management, VLAN management, etc. And ATM orchestrator, which integrates the BMC products with the rest of the products in the market. SRM will be the front end of, SRM is the front end of BMC CLM, and to store the CI information that of the servers through which are provisioned through the services will be part of the BMC CMDB or the ATM CMDB. And finally, platform manager ties everything together. So the cloud platform cloud management platform, it actually what it does is it provisions a VM and it provides us the operations to be performed on the provisioned VM. But if you as per the experience with the customers, the requirement was to do something more above just provisioning a VM with the operating system. So for that, I mean, apart from provisioning and having an operating system available within the virtual machine, the end user would also require softwares to be installed on it. Because basically, when they provision a virtual machine, it will be a requirement of performing some development activities or running some test cases. And then whenever the virtual machine is not required, they can destroy it. So for that, I mean, with the end user experience, provisioning a virtual machine and then installing software is a big time consuming job. So for that, we took an initiative and came up with something called as up the stack operations. So more than operating system provisioning or virtual machine provisioning, we also provide the end users with the compliance and remedy checks. Installing more and more softwares on the fly, even patching and verification, and rest of the integrations with the monitoring and discovering tools as well. So how is it different from BMC CLN? BMC CLN it requires its own hardware stack to install the CLM stack, the own infrastructure to host the application, and then then another set of infrastructure to handle or manage the provisioned virtual machines. In case of cloud as a service that we provide, we will be having we will be hosting our application in our own data center, and the customer has to, so to use it as a private cloud, the customer just has to be onboarded on the environment, and they can provision virtual machines through that. So it'll be in their own data center, or else as part of their subscriptions with whichever public cloud providers they have. Right. So talking about cloud as a service and what kind of an ecosystem we provide. So in the provider side on the right top corner, you will see, so that is the provider side which is hosted by Column Technologies in the United States at the moment in their own data center. On the other hand, it is the client side. So any customer who is onboarded would be required to have their own resources in terms of hypervisor, storage, network. With this, what will happen is we set up a VPN connection. Okay, so whatever request comes from the provider side will land up in the client side in the customer's own data center, in their own secure data center. The only entity added into the customer side, on the customer side from our end, will be a mediation device. So what exactly is a mediation device? Mediation device is a virtual machine which contains a set of agents. Again, these agents are part of the BMC suite. BSA agent, BNA agent, BMC ATM orchestrator, lightweight activity peer, a Windows proxy server. So the client templates, in case, for instance, now the customer does not have a readily available template of an operating system in their hypervisor. So we make sure that while onboarding, we provide a couple of client templates or the operating system templates, which will be easy, which will make customers' life easier to get them onboarded. And lastly, the software install files. Now, the traffic travels from the provider side onto the client side. Okay, so softwares might be heavy enough, which would take time during provisioning. So to avoid that time, we copied a set of software files, and softwares namely would be any like Oracle database, SQL Server, you name it. We've got a catalog of softwares. So those software install files are copied on the mediation device. So during provisioning, it acts as a cache for the request when a particular software is requested. To look more in detail on how exactly the data flow would be or the request flow would be in a particular cloud as a service environment. So at the top, as I said, this is the provider side, which is hosted in the in Column Technologies premises. The client side is connected using a VPN. So it's a site-to-site VPN, and the provider side talks to the client side only through the mediation device. So there is no other network connection or access to the provider side into any of the workstations or servers in the customer environment. So for instance, an end user logs into a portal. The portal gets connected to the provider side, and from there he requests for a service offering. The request goes into the provider side, and then the provision happens in the customer side on the top corner that you see, right? So the integration, the VM is provisioned, the requested applications are provisioned or installed in it, right? Post provisioning actions happen on it, and then a set of notifications are sent to the end user as well as the network and system admins as necessary. This is part of the private cloud, but if a request is for a public cloud, even that is being fulfilled. So as per the customer subscription with a respective public cloud provider, those provisionings can take place in their specific public cloud environments. So what is the advantage of having a cloud as a service over BMC CLM implementation? Right? On the left hand side, if you see, BMC helps us to achieve the 4 phases of a particular request or provisioning request, wherein there is a request, a deployment of the virtual machine and the softwares within the virtual machine, configuring the virtual machine as part of the particular organization's infrastructure applications. For instance, server management applications, joining the domain, patch management, etc. And lastly, on closure of a request, it would probably update the CMDB and send out notifications of completion of a request. But this again is a time-consuming job, and on the right hand side, you will see that what CLM or cloud as a service does is it actually automates and orchestrates everything as part of one single request, right? So with the configuration and the availability of software catalog that we have, okay, and the integration mechanisms, we can achieve this with increased accuracy, less manual efforts, less delivery time, and guaranteed compliance. So over here, the customer saves upon the whole infrastructure cost for hosting the application, right? So the customer does not need anything other than just their own resources to manage their own virtual machines that are provisioned. So they don't have to bear any application license cost or any BMC application license cost, because that is managed and controlled by by Column Software Technologies. So this is few of the softwares listed out here as part of our software catalog, which is more than 50 operating systems and softwares in all, right? So if an end user in future, if the customer needs any more set of softwares, it is our responsibility to make them available in the catalog so that they can be utilized as part of these requests. These are the integration mechanisms or adapters available at the moment. So if the customer is onboarded and they have their own instance of, say, ServiceNow, they want to integrate it with the the change management process for server provision. Even that can be made available for the end users. So the reason to show this slide is this is the basic cloud end user portal of the BMC CLM application. We've made sure that we don't move completely away from BMC, because that is the base application on which our service is built. So any future enhancement, any changes to the application of BMC CLM, we make sure that we work together with BMC, and those are embedded in our service as well. So another few add-on features that we've improved in the BMC CLM space is data framework and the integrations framework. As we know with experience, most of the data is pretty scattered in lots of CMDB forms of CLM, right? So with that, it becomes difficult for us to, in terms of reporting, and as well as building an integration framework or integrating it with other server management systems when need arises, right? So we've made sure that we centralize all the required data in terms of service request, the server details or service offerings that are instances. So with this, reporting becomes easier, as well as the application management team's life becomes easier when it comes to integrations as well, right? So how do you avail this service from Column Technologies? Initially, if the customer wants to just take a look at the application, it's pretty easy. You just get into avail a smart POC, wherein we can showcase a POC for you for a particular use case. After that is done, we have cloud as a service, which is it'll be a 12-year plan, and the costing is per concurrent server. if there are heavy customizations, wherein there can be few customers or a big organizations, wherein there are a lot of processes and there's a lot of input data to be requested from the request at the time of provisioning, and those customizations probably at one point of time cannot be fit in a cloud as a service environment, because cloud as a service environment becomes a shared environment with most of the customers, right? So in that case, I mean, the customer can opt for a on-premise clone. This will, what the advantage of this is, the whole application will be cloned in their data center, and with that they can customize it as per their needs. Okay, going ahead, it will be tied up with the platform clone which is available at our end. So future updates of the application can be provided on the on-premise clone as well, right? So the customer gets tied up with column technologies, and whatever updates are come to us from BMC, we implement it at our end, test it well, test all the aspects of the application, and then update it on the on-premise clone for a customer. So why would customers love this service? Firstly, it is pretty simple because the customer does not need to have any extra infrastructure to host the application or to manage the application, because this reduces complete. I mean, this makes everybody's life simple, and so because the complete management of the application is taken care by us as an organization. So we provide that complete service. It is pretty fast and easily accessible, and lastly, cost effective, right? Because it saves on the whole infrastructure cost for hosting the application, the management cost, the services cost. So you can see, try, buy, and it is truly a SaaS solution. It has limited customizations, and the additional options will be adopted as the application matures. So, any questions? So you're referring to the software install files which are stored on the mediation device, right? That is not the data, but it is just a copy of the installation files of the softwares. So suppose a virtual machine needs a SQL server to be installed on with a Windows operating system, right? So SQL Server is just an application or a software, right? So those installation files which are pre-built in our environment, in the BladeLogic server automation environment, we make a copy of it on the mediation device, right? So when the request comes for a SQL server, the softwares are not installed or copied from the BladeLogic server on the provider side. They are locally available on the mediation device in the customer environment.
Thank you, Chetan. And thank you, Column Technology Software. They're not just hosting a CLM software for BMC, but they're also going to host the next BMC user group, which will be during the April-May time frame. So a round of applause for Column Technologies for this software. Thank you. The next, all the speakers, all the audience, they can come in front. There are some vacant seats over here. And come and sit in front. We just have 2 more speeches. Please come in front. The next speaker is going to speak on BMC. He's a highly motivated and well-groomed marketing pro, knowledgeable of industry topics, who focuses on the tactical side of delivering fantastic customer service with a talent for process and execution. His key responsibilities include online community management, social business, and business admin. Please help me welcome with a round of applause the person who got this event on the internet, Anirudh Ariban Datta.
Awesome. Okay, hi everyone. Yeah, this session is really for all of us. It's not a product of connecting and staying connected. Hopefully, this is not the last time we meet and we meet again. So to make the next user group a bigger success, this would be key. Okay, so everyone here had to comment on a blog post to register. Was that it? Right? Is that experience a little bit different from other events you've attended in the past? Was it simpler or was it very complicated? Right? Did you have to fill a large form, go to a portal and register yourself? Was it transparent? Did you see the energy building? Did you already know people who you would meet at the user group? Right? All of that could be possible because from the start we decided that we would keep it an open, transparent process. Not hide it behind a black box, right? And the platform happens to be BNC Communities, which is kind of like the mid-tier. Okay, it's not the website, it's not the social channels, but it happens to be the mid-tier where you can come back and experience the brand. Okay, so I'll just skip very fast. Okay, this is the first time I'm using a clicker. All right. So why do you want to be on yet another platform? Right, you're already on Facebook. You're probably on your social intranet at your. Why again create another login? Okay. So I'm not going to talk much. Does that make sense? If you can see, it's one place where you can interact with customer support. You can interact with other end users like yourself. You can interact with the documentation team. You can interact with R&D. You can interact with Doug himself, right? And it's all on mobile. Okay, is this news to you? I've had a mobile app for more than a couple of years now, right? Both on Android and iOS. Okay, how many people can I see a raise of hands do have communities on their mobile phones right now? Awesome, there you go. So you can follow the agenda on your mobile phone wherever you are. So you know how short your restroom break should be, depending on the agenda, right? So there you go. So that's one good reason maybe, and we've made it simple, right? Not a big forum, but a Facebook or a Google can create yourself an account on communities. Yes, you have to revisit to have a picture of yourself so that it's a social platform. It's not just what I'm talking about. So instead of me, I would always do. I'm the admin. I would always beat the drum on community. Let's hear it from users, who are seated on these chairs. So quickly, can I call upon Pratap? Are you still around? Okay, I won't give you more than. Okay, Saroj is here. Okay, everybody knows Saroj from customer engineering team, right? Can we have a round of applause? Okay, he spends a lot of time in customizations and to bring you latest customizations of products, but he also spends his time to reach it to the end user, as fast. Okay. So Saroj, I'm going to ask you a simple question, right? You're busy. Everyone here is busy, right? Why spend time on a social platform? Why do you spend your time that you do?
Okay. So I've been active. Am I audible to all? Yeah. I've been active on communities for almost 3-4 years now. And when I started on participating on the communities, it was like, okay, I saw questions, but slowly it was kind of addictive. I started realizing the value of it. Now the value in 3 different lives. One in personal life, because I find pleasure in selling my knowledge. It's a great pleasure to see problems solved. Then there is a social aspect to it. I increase my visibility to the rest of the world. Everywhere, I I get more friends, people know me, I know people. And then there is a professional aspect to it also, that I learn a lot of new things, I get new ideas and everything. So there are all the aspects of, all the three aspects of life that are fulfilled when we participate in communities. So yes, it is a real great tool to use, and I would ask everyone to use the community to the best of their interest. Maybe anything.
You sure you're not talking about LinkedIn? This is communities, no. Right?
There is communities.
Awesome. There you go. Wow, that's profound. Thanks, sir. Okay, so all right. I don't think I'm gonna I'm gonna have time to include other users. So that's not an app. So what is community, right? So let me just quickly give you a bird's eye view of what is community. So you have products, okay, all the technical discussions that you are more aware of this area, right? And we have real users helping customers, and answers coming in. You never know where the user is based, really. I mean, you thought it was US, but it is actually somebody from India at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? I'm not asking you to get addicted on, but people are. I mean, in this audience, right? They love to help out, and those leaderboards, they kind of catch on to you, right? And I know faces. I don't have time, but yeah. So this is where all of BNC products or the whole portfolio lies, and 80% of that is public. We have private forums for partners and customers also. So it's all live documentation indexed by Google. Then we have, how many people have submitted an idea about a new feature or some enhancement you'd like to see? There you go, wow, right? In public, right? And or listening to you about criticism, about what would you like to see changed, right? And how many of you have any of you experienced that idea see it come to life? You've seen it come to life. Wow. I don't know how many organizations are this open about their enhancements processes, right? So that's there on communities. And then we have the India user group. The whole reason that we are having something like this happen, because we designed everything brick by brick in front of you, right? And you help design. You help design the agenda. Is somebody here who nominated themselves on the agenda for the roles? Maybe I would like to tweet, or I'd like to take photographs. I know Samir did. I'd like to host. He's an exception. Can we have a round of applause for our host, Samir? Wow, he's added his creativity, and you wouldn't believe he sent me proof copies at 11 p.m. last night. It was not required. So it's a bunch of passionate people which make this thing work, right? And it's all on communities. The BNC Bear. How many people know BNC Bear has his own Twitter account? Probably has more number of followers than you and me, okay? His recent follower was Bob Beecham, okay? So take him seriously. So it's our communities, and then you have the beta programs running on communities. You can just type beta, or probably the Engage 2015. The advisory board for Engage is going to run on communities, right? So it's as social as you can get. So that's communities, whatever your interest area is, you can follow and you can be updated on your mobile device. That's all I'm trying to say. This is pretty broad. If you're not on the web, you can have access to whatever you subscribe for on your mobile device. And people looking for jobs. We know cases where people working for a BNC customer then moved on to a partner and now part of BNC, because their profile, as Tarun said, involved around helping people with these technologies, all on communities, right? We actually have a jobs and career group. Did you see that in the first slide, right? So that's some reason why it might make sense to translate some of your work into communities. Why social? I don't remember what I put in this way. Okay, introduce yourself. Sarah said, right? Why work in the dark when you can share and build a community around yourself and your knowledge, right? So be proud. Introduce it. It has the new platform will have you have about 10 photographs of yourself, right? So your holiday pics, whatever. I mean, isn't that the world we're increasingly moving towards? All right.
guess I'm going to be audible. Yeah, that's a power outage. So a couple of minutes before it comes back. All right, let's try this. How many of you are part of the India user group? Follow the India user group, okay? Do you see some value in the India user group? Following the India user group? Okay, well, I mean, do you get a sense of what we're up to in this region, right? So we'll plan the next user group right here in the India user group in front of you, right? From the first announcement, like the way we done. I mean, I'll tell you, Doug, what I did. We were hosting a Google Hangout with users from the APAC region, okay? Power users, some of you were part of the Hangout. And that's when I probably sent you the first email about your visit. And I just set it to the Hangout, and which is YouTube video all public, that probably Doug is going to be here at the user group. And like they say, you speak the future into existence. That's what you do. And then when I had a little bit of enough posting, and we started building, and the number of comments, we actually had to physically shut down commenting to shut down registration on this, because our security went into a tizzy. They can't host this. So it will be next be in Pune, it could be in Bangalore, it could be some other, wherever BMC family is, we could have similar user groups. It will all happen in front of the India user group. Okay, what else? Is it because I stopped presenting? All right, yeah. Follow groups and spaces. It's not just technology. We have a social community where we talk about things like how to maybe update your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so you can be out of college or you can be 10 years into development, right? You have something for everybody, right? And you can be connected to groups, you can be connected to people, follow each other. Make sure, you look up each other the way you do on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook. You follow each other on communities and get to learn from the gurus, really. All right. Say thank you, right? Make sure you've liked responses marked as helpful and correct, right? If that answered your question, do flag it as helpful. Trust me, it looks nice. You feel nice, right? So that's the first step. Say thank you. How many people need more emails? More emails than you already have in your inbox. Do you? Raise of hands. Communities helps you go away from emails. Okay. Do you need emails to stay on top of your LinkedIn or Facebook? How many people check comments on Gmail and then go check Facebook or Twitter? You don't do that, right? Communities is just like LinkedIn or Facebook. It's on your mobile. That's it. You don't need emails, right? You attention each other. You create a document, or you co-create. It's a living piece of document. So no emails. And then it's fully mobile. Make sure you've downloaded the Jive app from the Play Store. And we're moving to a better platform in the March timeframe, and you're going to love the experience. So that's it. I guess this is the last slide. So thank you to all the volunteers. I'm not going to name them. They're up here. They played small parts, and they've done running around, but it's all those small activities where you see this together. Okay, and this is the hashtag. Okay, remember to tweet out, Facebook or whatever. Remember this hashtag. Okay, with that, thanks.
Thank you, Anirban. So BMC communities, it's the gateway to success. What surprises me more about the community outside BMC is there are people who are trying to solve a problem about BMC product, which is already being solved, put on the communities. And just because they are not a part of the community, they don't have access to the solution. So please join the BMC communities. We are part of this.
They actually do because it's public. It's indexed by Google.
That's right.
Search it, but you can't interact.
That's right. So you cannot interact with the person. that, we come to the last speech of the session. The speaker has joined BMC during the October last year as Senior Director of Customer Support. Before joining BMC, he was Director of Global Customer Support Services at Oracle and was responsible for storage technology customer support services. At Oracle, he led global SAN technology support delivery organization programs focused on customer delight, resolution time improvements, and process quality improvement. Prior to Oracle, he has worked in Sun Microsystems, CSC, HCL Technologies, CDAC with various capacities. He strongly believes in developing and knowledge-centric support to achieve customer success. Please help me welcome, with a round of applause, Jyoti Pashupal.
Wow. Let me start with a question. In fact, how many of you are there in the industry more than 15 years? Very lot. Well, so how many of you are there more than 20 years in the industry? Very few. So I'm part of that group. In fact, though I look quite young. So that's okay. So in fact, from the day one in my career, I started working on Sun platform, Sun Microsystem Technologies. I'm a die-hard fan of Sun Technologies. Every company I have worked in later on, it was because of Sun Technologies. So when I had started my career in 1995, India, so 1995, that time, so nothing was available like this, what we have at this moment. That's why I'm pretty thrilled and surprised and shocked to see the way community support is growing. So let me share one thing with you. So when I was an engineer implementing projects globally, it was pretty difficult to really know everything. Only thing which I was carrying with myself was some solved CV. That's the knowledge base I had only. And that didn't answer, it was not interactive by the way. So what I was doing was I call up people around the world, my close friends who were the experts on this platform, and get the answers. But look at now how it is going. Like someone was talking about mid of the night, you post something, immediately you get a response. What a transformation. Right? So from that perspective, it is pretty much pretty much critical to be part of the social media as well as the communities. And if you are not, pretty much left behind, right? Like Anirban said, you don't have to really look at your emails anymore, right? Which is true. The way innovation is happening, the way everything is becoming mobile. So I think it's great to be part of this era, right? So let me ask one quick question. I think I have only 5 minutes. That's what they have said. They're looking at me. Are you wrapping up or not? Right? So quick question. How many of you can answer what is the user base or the India user group number we have for BMC community? Anyone can guess? Just make a guess. Any BMC folks? No. Would you like to make a guess, Doug? 500. No, it is 11,000. You'll be surprised it is growing year on year 20%. I was really surprised because I had not seen that growth in Oracle, by the way. So from that perspective, it is a pretty big growth, which says, let me ask another follow-up question. How many of those 11,000 are BMC employees? How many of them are partners and customers? Make a guess. Can someone give the goodies to him? So yes, 1,000 employees, BMC employees, but 10,000, they are all partners and customers. And I would like to take this opportunity to really thank you to really participate in this this community group, as well as really taking out some time coming over here and participate and interact as well. And next user event where it is going to happen, it will be pretty much posted in the same India user group. And of course, we would like to really get some feedback, how we can improvise in terms of time, quality, and what you would like to really hear from us and see. And you can really refer to that blog post, you will get to know. And I will not take much more time. I really thank you for your time. And after this session, whoever are interested to really interact with the customer support team, me and myself and my team is available. So with that note, thanks a lot again. Have a great evening as well as a great weekend. Thanks.
Thank you, Ravi. We're coming towards the end of this session. So we'll be handing over the awards for the maximum participation today in the user group. We have top 3 participants, companies. So I request Doug to please hand over the.
So before that, can you ask another question? Probably I have probably half a minute. So can you guess what is the maximum number of interaction would have happened in a day? And we saw that yesterday. There's a 2,000 actions live. So we saw in the communities, which is a record high actually. So it's pretty big achievement.
Thank you. The first is for the company which came in with the third company now with maximum participation. So it's the user group chat award, and the company is
Column IT.
Column IT. I request all the participants from Column IT to please come here, share the stage with us. All the participants.
This is where we found out how many people left early.
Yeah.
So whoever is on number 1, 2 people come up. Okay, so here's your cool Jimmy. So thank you guys.
Please get your photographs with Doug, put it on Facebook, tag them.
No, I'm already going blind from the flag.
The second company with the maximum participation was
Symphony Teleca.
Symphony Telca. Symphony Telca.
They all left.
Okay. And the first company with the maximum participation today.
I don't know about this group. Tata Consulting Services. By the way, they will have to admit they captured me and had me held hostage in the back room for a Oh, they all stayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my goodness, this is half the user group.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. We now take a half an hour break for the networking session, so that please enjoy the snacks behind and also network with everyone. Thank you for being such a patient audience.
That's fine. Resist. Zero. 8.0 is not the best. That's really wrong with that release. But it's an interim release. And you definitely want to get the
Let's get a picture right now. Yes, it's all the yes. My script went with Jyoti. Jyoti's script is
okay. So what are the issues?
So I've been following most of this event here from a couple of thousand of kilometers away. It was really exciting to hear everybody here, and I think Anirban is joining again. Is that Anirban?
Hey, yes. Hi. Thanks, Matt, for being always in time to wrap up the events. Yeah. So, did you enjoy? Did you guys enjoy the? And Doug is right behind me. The event.
You bet, you bet. I saw everybody. Tarun, Girish, Doug, obviously, Jyoti. Uh, Great job and you. Actually, I could not see you. You were a bit away.
Yes, yeah, I kind of moved too much. That's. But could you hear bits of what I said?
By the way, I had
Awesome.
Heiko. I had a viewer window,
Right.
so I
Right.
just killed it. So hey,
So
congrats
Doug just gave
for.
away award. Yeah.
I'm
Doug
sorry.
gave away certificates
I should
for
say that.
people who. Yeah, that was cool.
I I should say that. Terrific. So Hemant was asking me, do you know how many viewers we have live right now on the event?
Right.
And
Right.
I could not tell
Right.
him. Perhaps you have this information, but I don't have it. I was not the one to launch the
Yes,
account.
well, I see it on the bottom. It's not much.
Okay, so anyway, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Right.
We'll see the results afterwards, and it's going to be posted on your YouTube channel, I believe.
Right. So thank you.
Obviously, you'll have to give pointers
Yes.
to specific sessions because it's a
Right.
long video, and the first
Yes. Yeah.
time was preparations.
Yes. Yes. So I'll stop broadcast right now and
Okay.
let's continue to talk. Yeah.